All right, what's up, everybody? It's Austin, back at you with another episode of the Book of Austin Life of Detours podcast. We have the long-awaited episode of Mr. Brandon Ponce over here. I can't believe I just fucking fucked up your name.
I've been called much worse.
Mr. Brandon Ponce. We've been waiting on this.
I got an Uncle Brian, so that's cool.
Brian, right on? Yeah. Well, we got Brian at work. You know, that's probably where I got it from. Y'all look kind of similar.
Overly handsome.
Overly handsome. That's exactly what it is. That nice little gray stubble we got going on, dude. It's working for you, buddy. So how the heck are you, buddy?
Man, I'm all right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Hey, you said you had a pretty interesting day today, but we got you out of the house, and now we're
That's
feeling
it, man. I'm thankful to be here.
Yeah.
You know, I wake up in the morning and I have breath, so.
Yeah, hey, that's right. Yeah, yeah, dude.
It can be that simple sometimes, you know?
Yeah. Hey, if you can just be grateful, man.
That's it.
Mm-hmm. So, I'll give you a little rundown. I know I did a little bit before the podcast, but so the way Life of Detours kind of works is, so I wrote a book a couple of years ago where I sat down with my closest friends and family, and I did these interviews with them, and so I wanted to get all these things out of my head, all these little interactions that I'd had with them. So what I did was I sat down with them, we picked this little start point, talked about all these little detours that we had kind of gone through, you know, throughout all these, whatever start point to end point that we decided to pick, you know, where there's me moving off, or some people die, you know, shit like that. But it's kind of try and follow this stuff chronologically, and as you sit there and talk about this stuff, you realize that these stories that you think about in your head, that's not the way that they think about them sometimes, you know? So I took all that, put it on the paper, got that shit out of my head, and now I took kind of that same thing. I just love doing the interviews so much that I was like, I just like sitting around talking to people, man.
That's it.
Yeah. And so my sister bought me a little mic, and I was like, I'm just going to sit down with people. I always tell people, and I feel like you're going to like this. The podcast is literally what we would be doing across from the bar, but I don't have to go over there and make that fucking drink right now.
Yeah. That's what we did for an hour
before
we got started today.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Yeah. This is what we do every time you come in, bro. That's what I like about you.
I love the life of detours and the analogy of it and what it means to you, because that's you know, I've always been, you know, proud of myself. You know, I don't know proud, but just the type of person who you have so many relationships in your life that, you know, affect you and, you know, kind of mold you or you know, different moments that have, you know, they were just there and a part of it. Mm-hmm. And for me, that's exactly, you know, that's the importance of it.
Yeah.
That, you know,
all these things that you take from all these little interactions.
Yes. And you know, there's times when I maybe think of that randomly, and I'll text, you know, someone that I haven't talked to in a couple of years, you know, but hey man, you know, I thought it would be important for you to know that I just, you know, thought of this and thought of you, and I hope you're good, you know,
You seem like the kind of guy that would just send random well-wish texts, just to be like, man, I ain't talked to you in years, but you're my fucking homeboy.
That's it, man.
Dude, sometimes you need to hear that, though, man, and a lot of people don't do it. I mean, I try to do it for the most part, but life's fucking busy, you know what I mean? But
yeah, life is busy. You know, that's one of the things we were talking about is, you know, that made my day a little rough is that, you know, you have to remember that. Not every, you know, you doing that means a lot to a lot of people. Mm-hmm. But just because they don't do it back doesn't make them a bad person.
Right. Yeah.
You know, it doesn't make them wrong either.
Yeah, and if you do it for a response, then
that's it, man.
Doing it for the wrong
and I don't.
Really.
But you know, obviously we're human.
It's nice to have some little response.
Woe is me over here.
Yeah.
I guess
some
days,
suck, man. Yeah, it's gonna suck. Yeah, you were saying you're just laying in bed for the most of the day, and then you just gotta have that little sun, dude.
I'm dude, will you quit feeling sorry for yourself, boy?
Show little bitch ass up, dude. Let's go, bro. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps and get to fucking work.
Come on,
buddy.
now.
Yeah.
Still work to be done here.
Get a little talk going over here, man. So you work over at Live, right?
Texas Live, yes, sir.
So I think you've told me about your situation over there before, because you don't just work at one bar, right?
Well, yes, I do. And that's the I don't want to say tricky part, but that's that's the reality of Live, is that it's such a huge, vast place that
that's a fucking venue right there.
Man, I refer to it as the beer mall. It's like grab your beer and like go shopping. Like if you don't like this vibe, you don't like this restaurant. Well, that's cool. Take your beer and go find the vibe you like because there's like 10.
Yeah, there's going to be one for you somewhere.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put that, actually.
Yeah, and I tell that to people. I could see the
You don't like Hot Topic? Go down to Zoomies, bro.
That's
They got you, bro. Yeah.
I heard Zook's got some No Fear shirts in, man. Like,
Go hit PBR, bro. I see you got your cowboy hat on,
man.
bro. Go get him, dude.
Fucking send videos.
Videos, exactly, dude. Oh, man.
I've been there. This is my 4th Ranger season.
Oh, nice.
And last year was especially special as a young,
damn right,
as a not young Rangers fan, but as a young kid for me. Like I watched Ranger games in 3 stadiums. A lot of youngsters don't even. They're like, wait, what? There was 3 stadiums? Like, yeah.
How long were they at? I guess it's Choctaw now, but what was it? It was just Ranger Stadium before that, right?
96-ish.
Yeah.
It may have been early before that. Maybe like 92, 93-ish.
Mm-hmm.
That they moved there.
The shit though.
Google will tell us, but
but my phone's over there on airplane mode. And I ain't trying to focus.
I don't feel like looking up.
Hey, Jamie, can you? No.
Yeah. Where's Baylor?
Baylor, dude. Yeah. Baylor doesn't know shit, dude.
So I worked for Texas Live, but I worked. I was hired by Lockhart's Barbecue. Actually, it's funny. Like, not a lot of people know this. I was in oil and gas for like 16 years of my career, and as I'm 42 now, and it was right around like 30. I was like 39. I don't know. I really wasn't liking oil and gas looking back on it, but that wasn't why I kind of sought after something else to do. But this is how naive I was about the service industry. I contacted my homegirl who was a bartender at Texas Live. And I was like, hey, look, I had a buddy that at one point sold beers, like carrying the, at the Ranger games,
sick,
like
dude,
up and down the aisle, cold, hot dog.
Yes, dude, cold beer.
Yeah, and I was like, hey, I just want to do something on the side, like our kids were getting older, and we found ourselves I was married at the time, and it's like they've always got something to do, and I don't know, maybe instead of just going out all the time, then maybe I can do something on the side. Yeah, do something on the side a little bit, and make some money. So I reached out to her like, hey, how can I be a beer vendor over there? You work at Texas Live, so obviously you work at Ranger Stadium too.
They're the same thing.
Yeah, right. And she's like, I don't know much about that, but we need a bar back. And I was like, well, I don't know what the fuck a bar back is, but sure, okay. She's like, trust me, you'll be just fine. It's super easy.
You're gonna be fucking great at it, is what she probably said.
And so I jump in there and I'm like, wait a minute, you guys are giving me how much money? Mm-hmm.
And this is
you guys are making how much money?
Yeah, right. Yeah,
and this is what I do, I just, took to it, and for me, it became very apparent very quickly that, the network of people that I've been trying to build in my life, they say monetize your network, but in like the right way, the positive way, it's like in oil and gas in that industry, it really just
in one avenue.
Man, I kind of tapped out, reached my, peak.
As far as you wanted to take it.
Yeah, and it just, I just really just didn't, I just didn't enjoy it at all. And
you don't strike me as a roughneck, buddy.
You're about to fish out of water, man.
You're in there trying to talk to these dudes, and
these guys are talking about, Trump and Biden, and I'm like, well, I just fucking spent 3 days at a festival, and I'm, I'm hurting right now. But whatever, I guess.
I polished off a 30-pack in my trailer over there, listening to Fox News. And you're like, I bet you're
every conversation, just so much of that. Yes,
it's a bunch of serious ass dudes.
Man, go to lunch, dude, and sure enough, man, that'd be Fox News.
Oh God, dude,
shit. So I noticed just I really took to the energy and
the fun,
there's pluses and negatives to social media nowadays, but I saw the importance of kind of posting where you're at, what's going on, and then just people coming, and it's not just coming to see me, but if they're going to a Ranger game, it's like, oh shit, man, my boy's over here, and it just for me, it was just like I was now in a new industry. I'm like, what the fuck, man? All my service industry buddies, I'm like, why don't y'all tell me about this?
I swear, dude. Y'all just been over here sly, making all this money, fucking chilling.
Why do y'all hate it so much, too, by the way? What the fuck?
Because we're tired all the time, dude.
Now, 4 years later, I'm like,
God, my feet hurt.
It's hot. I'm tired, boss.
Yes, dude. And you work partially outside, right? Or like,
so that's the thing. I was hired by Lockhart's Barbecue to be the bar back, and so like the area right there, there was like 6 to 7 bartenders in Lockhart's, but also in the backyard area where we have a stage and we would do concerts and all kinds of different stuff. There's another up to 6, and they may throw in a beer cart or whatever in the middle of all that, and I was the only bar back taking care of all those, so that adds up, and it made the money good, but it was also like, man, it's a lot of work, dude, and there's now not to toot my own horn, but toot there's 2 of them. There's 2 bar backs to do
doing the same job you were doing.
But I all of a sudden now I'm bar backing, and also I'm spelling the bartender, like, hey, I gotta go to the bathroom, or hey, can you pick up this shift? And now I'm bartending some shifts.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
right,
man,
right.
I can do.
Getting a little taste.
I can do this. Then eventually I transferred over to being just a full-time bartender. It was like, I don't, it's a lot of work to be a bar back, and it's.
It is a lot of work to bartend, but it's not anything. It's not physical labor.
Like, honestly, looking back, I wish I would have just, especially once I took it full time, I really, truly wish I would have just stayed as a bar back rather than.
Really?
At the time, the main reason I wanted to be just a bartender was because I was doing 2 jobs. I was still doing oil and gas during the week, and then I would do the bartending, bar backing stuff on the side. So for me, it was,
what was it, 70 hours a fucking week?
Just absurd amount of time. And that just, all that did was fuel the fire of me hating the other job, You're
like,
when I'm seeing what I'm, what I'm making on 3 days, compared to,
56
what
hours
these guys are, asking of me and hating it along the way. But, the main reason for me was wanting to, like, I enjoyed, I wanted to be there early. I'm like, well, barback has to be, I'm there an hour before everyone else, and then I'm there an hour to 2 hours after everyone else. Right. I'm like, and, does it justify what I was making extra compared to, now I can just show up. Yeah. I got a barback to do what I need to do, and I do my thing, and then get the fuck out of there. But
yeah.
It
is nice that you got that experience, though, because there's a lot of bartenders that have never.
I think it's extremely important.
Yeah,
that makes it. In my age, too, is like, I've always had a good work ethic. So, and this is literally manual labor for the most part. It's like, look, dude, like, do your job and you're good. I learned real quick. I learned from some really great bartenders, man. Like, these guys are, like, that was a huge thing for me too, was like just who I was working with, and the bartenders I was working with and have worked with and met along the way. Man, like, these guys are some of the the best people in my life still, right now. And for me, it was, I told them straight up, like, look, man, I've never done this, but I'm willing to do whatever you guys want. Like, I'm seeing the money, I'm seeing what you guys are making, and I know.
Tell me how.
My job is to help you streamline that process. So tell me what you want. Tell me what you don't want.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
And let's make some money.
Let's all do this together. Dude.
Yeah. So, I don't know. fast forward a couple years, 3 years, I'm bartending now, and then I, offered to help. There was a bar inside of Texas Live that was doing a Miracle Christmas pop-up bar, and they didn't have anyone really to kind of do it. Nobody really wanted to do it, and for me, it was like, what? Why?
Yeah, right.
I'll do it.
It's like a little gimmicky.
There's nothing going on in the backyard. Like, I'll do it. And I remember, like, my GM now, it was like 3 shifts. And first of all, I was like, so what's the attire? Mm-hmm. And she's like, oh shit, anything Christmas. I'm like, all right, bet. Yeah. So man, I'll show up, dude. I got like 3 different Christmas blazers. I got this cats all over this one. They're wearing Santa hats, and I'm flashed out and just rotating all these different Christmas sweaters and shirts and different things. And they're like, "Did you buy this for this?" I was like, "No, actually, that's the weird part. I don't even know how I feel about that." But no, I do. I have a whole closet of like crazy Christmas swag, and I've just been waiting my whole life to display it.
That's where you got it. Yeah, you can't wear that.
You gave me that platform
to the Roughneck Christmas party.
Yeah, yeah. Like, what's this guy's deal?
Do they have Christmas parties for fucking oil and gas, or do they just take their time off?
No, some companies do. It's like anywhere, Yeah. It's some companies is important to them, and some it's whatever.
Some they don't give a shit.
Yeah. I've been around long enough that it's not just that industry. It's it's really just it's life.
Yeah.
To some people, dude, it's important, and to some it's not. Dude. Mm-hmm. So.
Damn, that's for real though.
Yeah. Damn. So yeah, I transferred. I took over and did that Christmas bar, and then they needed to open up a new bar, and so I transferred inside from the backyard, and that's where I'm at, man. Miller Tavern, and I'm air conditioned, I'm consistent, and Arlington's growing. I just moved across the street from there, and I ride my bike there, and ride my bike to the gym, and
it's you're fucking plugged in
nice.
Over there, dude.
Yeah.
You got a nice little situation going on.
Hell yeah, I appreciate that.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers, my dude.
It is nice to just get to like sit down and talk, because every time we sit down and talk, like I said earlier, it's always when I'm at work. When y'all came in the other day, y'all rolled in like, what'd you bring, like 10, 12 people?
Yeah.
And then I had all these fucking other like just ratchets just show up all around you guys. I probably had like another like 12 people show up. Every one of them wanted fucking reposado lemon drop martinis or fucking or old fashions, and I was like, do you want to do the premix? Or like, no, I want you to make it. I was like, all right, fuck you, dude. Like, all right.
Yeah.
It's like in the middle of all this, but I mean, that last hour, dude, I probably made like $200, you know. Like, I can't be mad, but like I got off that and I was like, my feet are on fire, buddy. And it's it's 3 o'clock in the morning. You don't just go home and go to sleep.
Never.
Yeah, that's impossible, dude.
Man, it's so for a long time, switching this industry, being a 9-to-5 dude, who it's like everything's. It's kind. I did so much thought in all of switching industries and grasping a hold of it. I went through different guilts.
Looking at both sides.
I'm a 40-year-old bartender. I'm always like a glass half full dude, and sometimes I judge myself on that, but most times it's like, man, that's a good, it's a good quality. Like but just don't get so,
don't get so serious. Don't be so serious.
But yeah, dude,
don't overthink it, buddy.
That's it. But I remember that night. It was, for me, it's like we go there to like just, especially after a long shift, like decompress, dude. Yeah, I'm always going to bring anybody and everybody I can. There's my boy Austin. Now we're sitting right here.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, dude. Yeah, and everybody you fucking work with is so cool, dude. Like, they saw me getting, like, all of a sudden I just was getting my ass kicked, and every one of them was so fucking cool about it.
Yeah, dude.
But, I mean, that's the industry, dude. That's why we fuck with service industry people.
And those are the people I was just talking about earlier,
Yeah.
Yeah, those are my people, for sure.
Yeah, you found your tribe now, huh?
I did, but, there's also still, you you lose friends along the way of life. You gain different friends. People come and go. But there's still a good, solid group of people that are in my life that no matter what's going on, it doesn't matter. They're still right there. You know, and I think it's really important always to have that work family, that industry family, like,
because
for one, it's like, look, I used to say this all the time. It's like, dude, like, I think that's where the term, in my opinion, like work wife, work husband type thing is like we spend more time working than we do at home. It's like, even like I was raising a family, but I was working 12, 14-hour days. And so those, it's like,
and then you
keep in mind, you have to sleep
for the rest.
At least 6 to 8 of them, and then the kids are in school, or your other half is also working. Some of that, so there's literally like
y'all have to work out.
Sometimes it was like an hour. Like there would be an hour that we would all see each other, and we were lucky to get that. It's like, and then for me, I'm feeling guilty because of that, like as if I could actually do something about it.
Like, but we have a fucking house.
However, I got to pay for these only stupid things I bought.
Because I thought that you guys would like them.
I mean, I'm enjoying them.
Yes, right.
I don't know about you.
Get on board with it.
For sure.
Damn, man. So at 39, you said you hopped into bartending?
Yeah. 39.
That's wild, dude. Yeah.
Crazy. No, I never stepped behind a bar ever. But I remember kind of talking to my GM who hired me, who I freaking love. She was, I told her, I was like, look, I don't know any of this.
Yeah.
But what I do know is bars. And drinking.
Yep. I know the other side very well.
And partying, and, and I like to make money. So let's do that.
So let's put it together and we can fucking figure this out, dude.
Boom.
Yeah. Let's be responsible.
So yeah, 39 years old, and it's a weird thing sometimes. Like I do have my boy Big Mike, dude. This guy 56. Did you know Big Mike? The dude that was sitting with me that night that we all rolled in. Older black dude, shaved head.
The other night?
Yeah.
Oh, came in? Yeah. The only black dude that came with you, huh?
I think maybe at that time, and then ended up showing up.
Ah, right. Yeah. Okay.
But this dude. 20-something years in the industry. This dude 56 years old, man. I'm over here like, can I be
I'm tired.
New York bartender? Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
You can do anything the fuck you want, man.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Yeah, the only thing you got to worry about is what other people say, and
why do that?
Yeah,
and that's something I do, in life.
Well, that's because you're an introspective kind of a person, like you were talking about earlier, man.
Yeah, I definitely want to be like, but there's also a big part of me is like, fuck it, dude. Who cares? I
think,
but I lose track of that too much,
dude. Like I was saying earlier, like I think every time I explain the way that I came about getting to the podcast, I explain it different every time, and I feel like that was actually perfect for you because like throughout my life, like I always have this shit going on in the back of my head. I'm always constantly like analyzing the situation as it's coming. And afterwards, I constantly sit there and like mull it over and be like, this is what happened. Like how did I interact with these people? What are they thinking kind of shit? And then whenever you do something like this, you actually get to sit down and see their side. Whenever I was doing the book interviews and stuff, it was like I got to see how they saw me. And I was like, they weren't fucked up at all, dude. I've been sitting here thinking that this whole thing was all jacked up, dude. But like everybody had a great time. And like nobody thought I was an asshole, even though I thought I was an asshole the whole time. But then you come back to it and you're like, everybody was cool. God damn, dude.
Recently
I've just been rolling it over in my head until I made it bad.
My head can be my worst enemy.
Yeah,
it's and people, I do wear, I've always worn my emotions on my sleeve, always, and I've had to, I've had to learn in different phases of my life how to handle that, and now it's more like not so much how to handle it, but how to respect it.
There you go.
But because it can,
it's a tool if you use it correctly.
It doesn't mean something's wrong with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you do it wrong, it is though. Yeah.
Yeah.
You let it keep you in bed till 4 o'clock. You know what I mean,
dude? Yeah, I don't lose any sleep over it. Like, that's where it's kind of what you were talking about. Writing. And this, like I said, today was an interesting day. I was in my head a lot. But I also was anticipating this because I know the importance of this camaraderie, this moment of chatting, and it doesn't have to be about anything that you're going through or whatever. But it's like, man, it's therapy, and as someone who believes in therapy, and
exactly,
especially if you are an emotional motherfucker like I am,
yes,
it's like, man, my therapist probably thinks I'm crazy, but I do also know she loves me.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, she knows your exact type of crazy. She's trying to work on
man,
it.
I'm sorry, I'm crazy.
She's like, hey, you're crazy keeps me in business, so we're good, dude.
Yeah, and by the way, it's not all that crazy.
Our A-words at the bar, they keep us in business, bro. They're toxic and they're crazy, but gotta have them. It's my sweaty. Slowly over the years of podcasting, learned to keep shit on deck.
That's it.
Yeah, sometimes I'll keep a little cooler beer down there, but like sometimes I'll just keep ice and keep some. We like some tequila out here, dude. Yeah. The thing is, I fucking drink everything and pretty much anything. So for whatever guests I have on, I tailor what I drink that time to them. So this last podcast I did with my buddy Kenson, we just fucking crushed ultras, dude. Like, bro, I probably drank like 12, 13 of them bitches just during the podcast.
Water.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Yeah, and I'm used to drinking like whiskey or tequila, so
yeah.
I drink beer to slow myself down.
Yeah, I really only drink beer just because there's sometimes I'm like, I just want a beer.
Yeah, dude.
And that
ain't nothing like a nice cold beer.
That's
sometimes,
it.
Man.
Yeah. But I drank whiskey for a long time, like a lot of whiskey, and we used to go deer hunting, and that's
right,
fucking whiskey. But dude, it's like then I started really paying attention to fitness and weight and different things and eating what you're eating. And it's like, all right, man. So I switched to vodka.
Yeah.
And I quickly,
arguably,
I say quickly, but it was probably a couple years of me drinking vodka and soda because of being conscientious about what I'm putting in my body, that I hated it.
All that extra fucking sugar, bro.
It's just
you drink 5 Jack and Cokes, dude.
Yes, yeah.
Over with, dude.
That's it.
Yeah. You're gonna wake up with a sugar headache,
man.
That's what those are. It's not even really a hangover.
Yeah,
you just have so much.
And
sugar
vodka
in your
sucks. Body. I was like, man, I like tequila. I like margaritas. I like taking shots of tequila. I was like, why? And then I started looking into tequila. I'm like,
why is there such a demonized look at it?
I'm drinking tequila, dude. Like, I want that dirty, nasty tequila.
Yeah.
Give me
but you gotta
Cuervo Gold.
And you don't even gotta get Cuervo Gold. God damn.
Hey.
That shit will hurt.
I draw the line at El Toro Gold.
Yeah, dude, oh no. As you should. I don't care if it's $4 or whatever it is, dude.
We go to Peaks, dude, and get the like $2.99, $3.99, whatever it is.
Bro, they don't.
Cuervo Silver.
Dude.
Like, they got Cuervo Silver for.
Hey man, as long as it's.
I'm
clear.
like, is it a glass bottle? I bet.
Is it in a glass bottle?
Yeah.
That will actually tell you a lot, dude. Yeah, if you take the time to fucking... Dude, we got, like, the well vodka that we just got. I don't even know what fucking brand it is, but it's in a nice, sturdy, like, glass bottle. And I'm like, this is... Like, I don't even know the name, the brand, anything, but I know this is a decent vodka. Yeah, exactly. Like, I'll actually recommend this shit, dude. Yeah. I used to carry Kentucky Gentleman over at Boomer's Well, and I would stand behind that. It's shitty whiskey, but it's not fucking Kentucky Deluxe. And then I rolled in the other day. Guess what? There was a bottle of in the fucking well spot.
Kentucky Gentleman.
KD, brother. No, Kentucky Deluxe.
Yeah.
I was like, no, bro.
Hey, dude, that was one of my
straight rot gut, brother.
Man, I spent many weekends drinking KD.
Same. That's all we drank. Because I'm from Mena, Arkansas, dude. So
I'm a firm believer. Like, look, man, when it comes to those cheap ass vodkas, whiskeys, like. Man, don't come to me asking me for, a Tito's and Sprite or a Grey Goose.
Whatever.
Yeah, but I want Grey Goose As if you fucking even really know the difference.
Yeah, you just know the fucking name.
As a matter of fact, I dare you to even tell me the difference.
Bro, I literally, sometimes I'll just switch it out.
Dude, I won't. I'm like, all right, bet. Yeah.
I'm like, I can tell you're broke, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I already know. You can't even afford this tab, so I'm not going to run up my fucking numbers, you know?
You gotta, like, yeah, come on.
Yeah, bro.
Take your whiskey sour. And
people are fucking crazy, dude. Yeah. All right, so on that note, let's take a little shot ski, and then we'll fucking talk about your childhood. Oh, let's get you all liquored up, and we'll talk about your parents. Yeah. All right, well, cheers, buddy.
Cheers, bro.
It's crazy, because Kenton was talking about the podcast bubble, right?
Mm-hmm. What is that, like, what do you mean by, is that a thing?
Like, all of a sudden, you'll just have been sitting here for, 2 hours talking and shit.
Oh, yeah.
But it also, I think it applies to the drinking, too.
Sure.
Like, all of a sudden, like, we polished off a fucking 24-pack of fucking Ultras, and we weren't even feeling it. And then as soon as we stopped doing the podcast, he heads home, I go in there, and I'm like, damn, I'm a little lit up in here, dude.
Should we order a pizza?
Should we? Yo, man, I think I got some chips in the cabinet.
Yeah.
Let's get some starchy bullshit in here, dude. Let's go, bro.
Yeah.
All right, so let's take the shit back. Dude.
There you go.
So, you're a Texas guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where are you from?
So I was born in Irving.
Really?
Irving Hospital. Right off 183, right down the road from where the Dallas Cowboys Texas Stadium played in 1981.
81.
Both my parents were from Irving, but at the time they were married and then moved to Red Oak, Texas, that's where they lived shortly while pregnant with me. And but they drove. That's
Yeah,
Irving's what they knew, so and that's where my dad's their family was in that. That's where the family was. So that's where I was. I was born, and I grew up in Red Oak from time I was like born to. We moved to North Richland Hills when I was like 12, 13 years old.
Oh, okay.
Red Oak is like Waxahachie, or like Irving, DeSoto, or I'm sorry, DeSoto. Cedar Hill,
okay, so
Waxahachie, I guess what is that, southeast of Dallas-ish. I remember we used to go as a kid, go to Oak Cliff, like Redbird Mall. Definitely go. I remember driving through Dallas, man, like just like enamored.
Yeah, dude.
Just like.
Yeah, dude.
We lived in I grew up in a mobile home on. Like an acre and a half, but for me, like, when you're that age, like, you don't realize it doesn't, that was home, dude. That was, we had dogs, that stayed, back then it's like outside dogs, stray cats coming around, like I was raised like drinking water out of the water hose, bro. Big wheel, riding on gravel driveways that went for days. It felt like, dude, like.
Damn, that's like, life right there,
that was
it makes me feel better. Dude. I grew up in a trailer too. So.
Yeah, so I'm. Imagine, dude. Like, so for me, it was like I was very much sheltered, very much a mama's boy. Yeah. My sister, she was born in '85.
Okay.
So we're sibling? 3.5. Yeah. What is that like? I don't know. I was September of '81. She is July of. 85, so we're like 3.5 years.
Yeah, right on. Yeah. That's a good little spread. That's like perfect.
Yeah, we were tight siblings, but I was definitely a mama's boy, and she was a daddy's girl, and it was kind of sheltered of that private, out of the way. No, there's not, it's not much social game in those rural areas.
Oh, yeah,
amongst really parents, amongst children.
Yeah.
But we moved when I was 13 to North Richland Hills in the suburbs in a brick home, like on a busy street. And your like, dude, like I am like, as a kid, I'm like, I remember, man, fucking crying at night, dude. I was freaked out by it, dude. Really? Like I was like, I wanted to go back. I didn't know what was going on.
So loud here?
I was going into the 6th grade. I ended up being held back that year because it was a really tough year for me as a kid. Because I just felt out of place.
It's a straight culture shock,
and it showed a year later. The teachers and principals and counselors are like, man, like we ought to. I'm considering like holding them back. But here's the problem with that is I'm a September baby, so I was already older than most kids in my own age at 6th grade. But now I'm being held back in 6th grade in middle school.
You're 14 among.
So I'm like, I'm a grown ass motherfucker. Like, I got a beard, bro. You know, like
you got those extra things on your letter jacket. You know, from all the years you should have graduated. You know what I'm saying?
That's it. You know, but also I never felt like I had any friends or like any relationships, and that's why I felt that's why it was so tough. It was so alone, but. Man, I had this dude one day, like I'm out, I remember I had a basketball goal in my driveway, and I would just be out there, messing around. And this dude one day walked by, he's like, hey, man, want to play?
Yeah.
And dude, his name's Patrick Casca, man. Like he just came up to my bar the other day. Like we've been, like ever since that moment.
Damn.
Like we when he's got a couple of kids, I got, it's like obviously like, we've been through our shit as far as like, but
Detours.
One thing, go many times of not speaking to each other, not because,
like the dude. Yeah,
it's just kind of the way life goes, right? But dude, like, again, here I am, 42 years old, and he was at my bar last week.
Bro. Yeah, that's wild.
So,
damn, man.
And eventually, I picked it up fairly quick. I was. Shortly after that time, my parents got they got divorced.
Okay.
So now, just as I'm getting settled in, I'm kind of rattled.
Yeah.
With the separation and the chaos that ensued.
What are you, like 15?
No, I was like 13, 14. I was going. I want to say I was going, so maybe I was 14, 15, yeah. I want to say I was going from 7th grade now to into the 8th grade when, they kind of told us. Yeah. And
had you noticed anything going on before
I kind of hadn't, but dude, also, I was an 80s baby. This is what I attribute it to is like, I tell people all the time about being a father. We're different than what we were raised at. You know what I'm saying? Like I honestly, I went through a lot of trauma of this conversation, but I don't feel hatred toward my parents, but I did at one point. I had a big chip on my shoulder,
dude. Yeah, you're fucking pissed
for a long time. Even as an adult, raising my children, I was pissed about a bunch of shit.
Like, but dude, you don't fucking understand how bad it could be, bro.
It's like I just wasn't shown. At times, like I was mad at my mom for babying me and hiding me. I'm like, you didn't fucking prepare me for this world. Yeah, you're like, and then I was forced to kind of go with her because she's the parent, but also she was making crazy decisions, man. Like, and she's had a couple of failed marriages along the way, and and I think now our relationship is great now because like she sees that, and also as a 42-year-old man, it's like I don't blame my parents anymore. Yeah. Like they were kind of handed, too, they were doing their best in those situations as well, and just because who they are as people doesn't, it's like
they're just fucking people, dude.
That's it.
Yeah, dude. I mean, my dad fucking he wasn't around. He was fucking alcoholic, did whatever drugs were fucking thrown his way, all this shit. Like he wasn't around my whole life, but like I could see myself going down that path if I fucking like if I really just said fuck it all, dude. There's a life to be led there, you know what I mean? Like, and some people fucking do it. That's not what I'm gonna do, but that's what some people do,
there's one thing that first of all, I look just like my dad.
Oh yeah, yeah,
it's ridiculous, bro. Dude. Like I look like.
Bet it pisses your mom off, doesn't it?
Maybe at some point it did.
Right,
you know, not now, but yeah, definitely maybe at some point. But I look back. It's like there's so many similarities in how he is and how he was as a dad that I am, and there's a lot of things I wish that he would have done different and he didn't. But we don't have much of a relationship these days at all.
Yeah.
But for me, how I deal with that is like look, I don't know. What can you do about that? He does. He's got a new wife, or I say new wife, but they've been together 20-something years, and they have children, and he has a great relationship with them, and he loves his grandkids, and he talks to my grandparent, or his grandkids with me, my kids, and it's just like I just chalk it up as kind of it is what it is, rather than like. Well,
he's got a lot going on. I mean, he's got 2 fucking families running around and stuff.
Yeah, and that's the thing, dude. Like, it's like
I can barely do my schedule at work. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck, man,
dude.
Those kids, grandkids running around trying to fucking.
I'm constantly reminded of something I completely forgot.
I swear to God,
dude. Yeah, man. I'll be there.
I was making plans today to go back to Arkansas, and then I was like, fuck, I got a concert to go to this weekend and like shit like that, dude. Like, how am I going to make this work, dude?
I told myself this I was going to get ready for this, and just like my taxes, I waited until the last minute.
Yes, dude, and turns out my taxes were crazy.
Yeah, they sucked as bad as I thought they were going to suck.
I had to mail these bitches in. I've never had to mail my taxes in. I had to mail them bitches in this year. TurboTax would not take them. I was like, what?
For what? Why?
Because, which we've done this every year. Kristen claims OC, and then we use whatever money she gets from claiming OC, to pay what I owe in, because obviously I fucking bartend. I'm going to owe in a little bit, here and there. But they fucking switched us over to where all our money goes on the cards now.
Yeah.
Fucked me, bro. Fucked me bad, dude. Had to fucking, and I got it down. I mean, I got it down to like,
dude, the middle class is just getting
destroyed, bro. Yes.
It's so look, bro. This kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier with having a rough day. Is it's like, dude, it's not just having a rough day, man. It's like we are all going through it, and I've told so many friends of mine who have come to me having a rough day. Family, baby mamas and exes and, friends. And it's like, look, man, I want to remind you that we're all having a rough day. We're all having a rough time. And it's like, at being in that oil and gas industry for all those years, I watched every 4 years, these election years, man, are just, they just seem to get harder and harder and harder. There's just so much on the line. This country feels like it's constantly on the line. There's just a struggle, and especially during election years, man, it's just,
dude, this year feels fucking.
The screws
weird,
are to us all, and we're noticing that in sales at work. My Christy, my baby mama and wonderful ex-wife, is in the real estate industry, and it's, they're taking a punching, and
which they have been actually for a little while.
Yeah, they
now,
have.
Dude. Yeah,
and 2020, they've had they had this burst, which is again, it's just like oil and gas. It's like, no money doesn't matter until suddenly it matters. I'm like,
real bad.
Yeah, and you're just when I got into the oil and gas industry, I was like 21 years old. I remember I got hired. It was like, yeah, we're working 7 days a week. We're working 10. We're getting paid 12, and we're getting $100 a day per diem. Jeez. So you're making $700 cash. That's cash, basically. Like, that's a check for no tax. $700 a week. Plus, you're getting, they were paying me like, I don't know what the fuck it was, like $15 an hour.
Yeah.
But
you have like
at overtime. Yeah, at overtime, and then the 2 extra hours they're giving us. It's like, man, this is great. But the point is, like, it all comes to an end, right? It's like, as great as that was, it was like,
one
boom,
log is passed. It's all gone, dude.
That's it. Yeah. It's gone, and and we're all, every industry has its struggles. A lot of people in the service industry, they, I hear them all the time. The 12, 13-year veterans of the industry, like, I'm just so tired of it, and And yeah, dude, like the point is like everything over the stretch of your life, if you give it the opportunity, is gonna wear you. It can wear you down. Like it can it can even break you down if you let it. But
you can go off the fucking deep end,
dude.
If you let it, dude.
Yeah, we're all struggling. I watch the. Our opening day at Live this year when the Rangers came to town a couple of weeks ago. It was on Easter weekend.
Kind of flopped,
it was a
right?
weird thing. I don't want to say it flopped because as far as I'm concerned, I took the best of what I could and I made I made what I could make out of it. But it wasn't what I'm used to. It was not
that fucking
an opening day of the past.
Or like even like I used to work. I remember a couple of years ago. I mean, before like 2020 and all that shit. Like I worked at a couple of fucking New Year's where you were just balls to the fucking wall. Like every single bit of that place is like full. And then nowadays it just doesn't seem like people are coming out as much and stuff like that. And it's like then you have things like opening day for us. It was the same thing. It was like Easter weekend, all that stuff, and it was kind of lackluster, but it was like a regular day. But it wasn't fucking
so
opening
much
day.
I don't think enough attention is paid to how much that affects not just us in our industry, but everything that is going on. The mood of literally everyone. Mm-hmm. The guy driving next to you that's got road rage. Yeah.
And he's pissed because he's got 3 kids in the car. They're late for fucking church right now.
Yeah, he can barely afford the fuel that he's having to use to drive back and forth to wherever he's going. It's everywhere. It's everyone, and it's very impactful. And it's like when you're going through it, it's like an important reminder of like, look, man, like we're all going through it.
We're all going through it, bro.
That's it, man.
Yeah, dude. Even when we're doing
love your neighbor, man. Like what happened? Like, can we just get?
Don't be a dick.
Let's just get back to the simple things, which to me is just like be a good human.
Yes.
Like, man, like
just because you're having a bad day doesn't mean you got to take it out on somebody. One of my favorite things, I'm sure you've experienced this, is like whenever you have somebody come up to the bar, you can tell they're pissed off. You get a beer or two in them, and they just like lighten up, and you're just like, dude, you were a cool guy the whole time, bro. Like, why are you fucking being like this? Did I get maybe you had a bad day or whatever, dude, but you didn't have to roll in here like this. Yeah. It could have been cool from the start, dude. Yeah. That's my favorite thing, like watching the fucking ice like melt off of a person, dude.
As someone who carries their emotions on their sleeve, who like would walk into your bar, like, dude, I don't want to. Nobody talk to me right now. I don't care. I need a minute.
I've seen it on you, buddy.
Yeah, and it's like
you get one of the, you get a little 1800 in you. You fucking shit, dude.
I've got and that's another topic. It's like I've got this love-hate relationship with alcohol. It's
I love her, but she's around too much.
Yeah, we
get off of me, girl.
We as a society, man.
You don't have to stay at my house every night,
bro.
Go home sometimes.
Yeah, but I want you to answer when I call.
Exactly. Yes, yeah. I'm not trying to treat you like a whore, but you know what I'm saying?
God, story of my life.
I think that might be the best analogy for alcohol right there. She's a slut, dude. Out here hoeing in the streets.
Everything we do.
She's not even our friend. She just hangs out with us when we call.
Drink. If you're excited and you're celebrating, when you do, you drink.
A long day, you drink. Yeah. Fucked up thing,
but I can't smoke a joint.
Mm-hmm.
My government won't. It's not okay.
No, and I physically can't smoke a joint because I get fucking high and I start talking shit to myself all the time.
Oh man, so
that's the worst.
I've learned to.
Maybe it's a strain I'm smoking and shit. I've tried multiple though. But I just be dogging on myself, dude.
Really?
Yeah, bro, for some reason.
It's like paranoia or like...
no, it's not... Well, I mean, I guess kind of. It's like you should be doing something else, Or like I'll do a podcast and like I'll feel great about the podcast. Like we have all these like great interactions and I'll smoke after and I'm like, you shouldn't have said that. And I'm like, dude, just let it fucking ride, bro. Just get off of me, dude. Yeah. That's why I don't edit the podcast either. I don't like to go back and like look at things and be like, well, some people will take it this way. Like I fucking said what I said. Take it however you will. At that time, when I did it. And that's the same thing with the book. Whenever I read it, you know, there was some fucked up shit in the book. But it's like, I was that person at that time. I'll stand by it. I can explain to you why I did whatever I did. And I might not even be the same person I was then, but I'll fucking tell you why that shit happened, you know?
Yes.
Fucking clip me, bro. Clip some shit out and let me
If you have questions, ask.
Yes.
Because I would what the fuck are you tripping on? Like, what
are you tripping on? Yeah.
Jesus, dude. You got beef with me for what, dude? You don't even have I even been able to speak yet? I would love to fucking, like, we can talk about this. Yes. I love to talk. I love me some me.
I love me some me. Oh, that's good shit, dude.
Yeah.
Here's to that, dude. All right, so let's take it back again. So like I said earlier, we try to keep it chronological, but we do be going on rants. Life of detours out here, dude. So
that's it.
Let's take it back a little bit past, like, actually, I'm going to take it back a little bit before the divorce and stuff like that. I'd like to ask, like, what your parents, what did they do, you know, for, like, work and stuff like that, and how close were you with each one? You know, like, what was the impact that kind of hit you with that?
So my dad was like basically an engineer. Okay. You know, I remember stories of he was, you know, as a kid he was kind of a mechanic.
Taking apart the
and you know, and then did some college stuff. You know, like after you had already had a family. I remember going to like night school and stuff when I was like a young kid. Oh wow. For like engineering degrees and stuff like that. So he ended up in engineering, and it's kind of always done like, I remember in his toolbox, there's always like calipers and like real precise mics and like different tools like that. It's kind of what he did. You know, it was like products would come through. I remember he worked, what moved us to Northwestern Hills, he worked for this like quartz manufacturing company that made like these beakers and like different things, and part of his job was like quality control in the engineering department, like checking, like making sure all the dynamics were right. Like very numbers guy, very like
interesting.
My mom always, for the most part, man, she was just always home. You know, she was back then it was like a stay at home mom. You know,
back when you could afford that shit, yeah, dude.
Yeah, you know, and
I probably sold Avon here and there.
Yeah,
so
Tupperware, bro. Yes, I've been to some Tupperware parties as a kid.
Oh man,
some of those things got weird.
I want to hold up my side of the fucking house, you know.
Yeah.
No, that's real shit, man. Yeah. Oh, them pyramid schemes. They used to fucking run rampant through fucking through the suburbs, bro.
Dude, boy, did they.
So mom was chilling, though, man. That's probably why. So, like, you said you had, like, an attachment. I mean, obviously, being a boy, you know, just fucking...
Yeah, you know, there was little things for me that I took the most out. I was like... And I don't blame them for this, but... Because, that, you know, it's almost how they were, you know, how they were raised... And how they raised us was kind of, you know, that just reflects on what they were going through in life as well, you know, and kind of what they didn't want to be, or what they just hyper focused on certain things. And, you know, I think that's the difference of being a father these days is like kind of branching out of the big picture of life is so important. Like, I thought it was important to teach my kids that we do talk about our emotions. It's okay to feel the way you feel. Like it's okay to struggle. It's also okay to like be confident. You know?
Exactly.
All the shit, dude. It's like it's okay.
Yeah. Be a bad little motherfucker sometimes. Dude.
That's it. Yeah. But yeah, mom would definitely. I remember moments of like. You know, I wanted some. Maybe I wanted some. Back then, I'm trying to think like the new Jason Kids.
What?
Yeah. You know, mom would go out and fucking write a check.
There you go.
Like, don't tell your dad. You know, type thing. Like I didn't have to hide them for a couple weeks. You know, but. I remember like fearing dad coming home because maybe I don't know, I fucking probably forgot to do something, didn't take the trash out or left the lights too many on, and dad would come home grumpy, you know.
You didn't touch
but looking back, I remember
dad
would come on, don't get over the thermostat, bro. But I do remember Dad coming home most of the time pissed off. And I used to take it personally as a child, thinking he's pissed off at me and I've done something wrong. But now as an adult who has children and as a father, he's like...
It's a fucking job.
Like, dude, like, he didn't realize what he was, you know, they're just like me many times don't realize that you're like, dude, don't take out your frustrations in life on someone else. Like, you know. Like, yeah, you've had a rough ass day, dude, but just because you walk home and the fucking light was left on, you don't have to explode on them for it, you know?
Yeah, right.
Like, so I see, you know, again, I see both sides of that.
Right.
You know? It's like,
you know, that's one thing you learn with kids, though, man, is like it's all about them, though. You know, like especially in their head.
For me, I think for us,
too.
For this generation, I
mean, that was for me too, man. I remember whenever I was little, I thought everything was fucking either my fault or fucking it all about. I thought I was the fucking superhero of the entire fucking world. I thought everything was going on around me. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was fucking weird because I grew up with 5 sisters. I don't know if I mentioned that.
Yeah,
but I had 5 sisters and fucking 8. That's right, dude. Yeah, but it was so weird because like growing up, I always thought, you know, like nothing bad ever happened to us. You know, nothing bad in my world ever happened. There was just constantly fucking bad shit happening. And I just was in my little bubble, you know, and like whatever happened to me, and nothing else.
Yeah,
made sense or mattered.
100%, man. I see that in my son who is 14, about to be 15. You know, I think he does a really good job of realizing that that's not the case, but also not knowing what to do with it and how to take it. And while also very much still living in that same spot, but it's like I just take. It takes me back to that moment as a adult, you know, a teenager going through puberty and everything else in life is like
I don't know what the fuck's going on.
We don't, but we think we do.
Yes, dude.
And we think we're gonna be fucking rich when we get older, just because.
Because you're the fucking main character of your goddamn story. Yes, dude. Surely things are going to work out for me,
don't call me Shirley. I am definitely the main character. Big main character vibes. And I have
yeah, dude.
Man, I got to learn to control that at times, you know?
Hey, man. That's how you live your life, dude.
That's it.
You can get a lot of shit done that way.
And that's my son, man. I literally, I tell people all the time, like, man, if you want to know what 14-year-old Brandon was like, come hang out with me and my kid, dude, for like a minute. It's very apparent.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, he's
little boys are crazy, dude.
He's a G. I just yeah.
Damn. All right. Well, I gotta pee.
Yeah.
First off, so we're gonna take a little pee break. We're about an hour in, so it's about perfect timing. But so we're gonna go pee. We'll come back. We'll try and hit it off right back at the exact same spot if we can. But, you know, fucking Detours, guys. So,
yeah.
We love you. We'll be right back.
Stay ready. You ain't got to get ready.
Damn right. All right. And we're back. Both had a nice little pee out of it. So, cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
Got the demons out. You know what I'm talking about?
I got to pee.
So, on that note that we were talking about earlier, I think we ended up talking about your parents and stuff. But so coming out of like the divorce, coming out of like, you know, 14, 15 or so, start going kind of into high school, and you were talking about like you just started playing like basketball and shit, right?
So yeah, I met my lifelong buddy like 6th grade, you know, shooting hoops in the driveway, and you know, and then me and him became close friends. For us, dude, like, being a kid at that time was all about like BMX bikes.
Hey, there you go. Yeah,
you know, like we rode. We always working on our bikes.
Yes,
you know, tricking up our bikes, riding to bike shops, riding to little trails to do. You know, that's,
little mechanics.
Like that's it, man.
That's some manly shit, bro. Like people don't understand. That's like, even I used to skateboard and like just put like changing the trucks on your fucking on your board and shit like that, dude. Like you feel like you're doing some manly shit.
Yeah, that was and of course that transitioned into when we were old enough to start driving. You know, I remember I had a 66 Chevy pickup that swapped the engine out on, and my buddy had like a 92. The same dude had like a 92 Fox body, you Mustang, and my uncle had a bunch of them and 350Zs, and we would all. That's what we did. We were mechanics. That was the industry I was in oil and gas. I was a mechanic.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah.
If it was like working on stuff like that was me. I was Life of Detours. We'll take it back.
Right, there you go.
Another keynote as a child, I remember in like 3rd, 4th grade being diagnosed with ADD, ADHD, and I was a Ritalin baby. I was an 80s Ritalin baby.
Hey,
I was, dude. And I remember
you got
it.
some?
What the hell held on to that? Like
yeah,
gold.
Dude. Yeah. Hard to get nowadays.
I do have an Adderall prescription.
Hey.
I am ADD. I'm certified.
Yes. See, I was
certified crazy, certified ADD, ADHD, OCD, like all the fucking things, dude. It's pretty much me. So my son, this goes back to what we were talking about. My son being just like me. Like, dude, I see it with my son, and we've made a conscious effort not to medicate him, and I really don't want to. It's one of those things. We're talking about alcohol, we're talking about marijuana, and we're talking about Adderall, Ritalin. It's like, it bothers me that the government's okay with giving me, like me as an adult, they'll give me 60 milligrams of Adderall to take for my ADD.
They'll give you meth.
Then they will give me 10 milligrams of Ambien to go to sleep at night.
Yeah, dude.
And I can drink as much alcohol as I want.
Give you
but
all
by
the
God,
antidepressants you want because your
Xanax,
head's fucked up.
But if I smoke a joint, dude,
go to jail,
man.
Yeah, lock them up. Put the cuffs on.
So it was more of my wife and I. We didn't, early on we would try to kind of just talk him through it and explain that, like, the way you think is
crazy,
is he's a Gemini too. I'm a Virgo, so like
I'm a Gemini.
Dude, we're two, like I'm telling you, man, this is my
clashing signs.
Man, we're just like me and him, dude. And honestly, like, as a Virgo, it's like I've always got along with like Geminis. Like, some of my best friends in life were Geminis, and it's like, because we're. I'm like, you motherfuckers are crazy.
And they're like, dude, I don't know how you even live life.
But meanwhile, people are like, oh shit, he's a September Virgo. This dude nutty.
He's deep in it, bro. Yeah. Can't get out of his own goddamn head. Look
Man, he's his own worst enemy.
Yes.
He's got to meet me damn. He's meeting up to himself.
Gemini's just like, we got two people talking in here. You just got the one.
Yeah,
dude.
That part.
But you're still sitting there talking all the fucking time, dude. I can't get away from the other guy. You're just you talking shit to yourself.
Dude, man, I'm talking myself out of a freaking winning lottery ticket,
Yeah, for real though, dude.
But then also find another one on the ground, So I'm like, I'm like Jerry Seinfeld, bro. I'm like, it always works out.
It always works out.
It's gonna work out.
Hey, that's the thing about life, though. It's gonna fucking work out.
That's it, man.
Yeah.
Like, I see, and that's and that's kind of the adventure or the detour of like seeing both sides of things so much that I do is like the one thing you can take away from it as the years go by. You turn 40 and things just different.
Yeah,
and it's like it's one of those was to appreciate. Like, look, man.
Things kind of worked out.
Things work out.
You let a lot of stuff ride, and it just kind of fell into place.
Whatever you felt like you were trying to prove for whatever reason, it's like, dude, it made you who you are, now. So it's not a big deal.
Don't be mad at yourself.
Is that?
Yeah.
So going back.
So we're talking like high school.
High school-ish.
Yeah. So you're like mechanical?
I was, 100%. But I was also very quickly after they, announced their divorce, and I kind of started bouncing around. You're talking, I was a freshman in high school now, and my mom was in like abusive relationship. And my dad kind of, I used to refer to it as like my dad kind of forgot that he was a dad.
Oh, no? Yeah.
But also I get that.
I mean, at this point, he found another fucking
it was a little while. It was about a year or so, I guess, of him being, on his own. But yeah, he eventually did. and that's a whole nother. That's a whole nother.
Well, that's kind of what happened with my.
I look back on it now, and I'm like, dude, like for whatever reason, this is what my dad. This is what he needed, and this is what.
Yeah, because he's living his life.
Because he's living his life too, and it's like, dude, like who am I to, who am? Just because, like, I don't, yeah, we're not close, and that part sucks, dude. But also, I feel pretty good knowing that he's doing what he felt he needed to do, and and
he's a functional human being.
That's it, So
whatever he needed to be a fucking normal person.
Yeah, but as a freshman in high school,
as a 16-year-old kid or
man, I'm ready to fight anyone that wanted to fight. I just had this huge chip on my shoulder. I ended up. I remember having teachers in high school.
It's like, you think your life's bad? My parents got divorced.
Yeah,
bro. Fucking talk shit to
little
me,
suburb dude. Kid thinking just the life is like world is against you.
Rough, dude. Yeah.
I started smoking. I started smoking a bunch of pot. As a young kid. Freshman year.
When was your first?
8.
You remember your first?
It was with my homeboy Pat. I was just talking about. We stole it from my dad.
Hey, got it from dad.
Smoked it out of a Coke can, and I don't really remember what happened from there, but that kind of sparked it. It was he was out of town. I remember I remember we fucking tripped out because we went up to the attic. Man, we were so we could have went outside.
Yes, you should have went.
But
outside,
no, instead we went to the attic for some reason. It's where the Playboys were.
Yeah. I went up there, smoked a bunch of weed, and jerked off.
Fucking weirdos. Yeah.
Bro, when you're that age, bro.
Oh, I tell my son who's 14, like him and his boys come over.
Dude, you're gonna jerk off.
And I'm like, dude, if you you three. Y'all just keep. I don't know what you're doing. Are you fighting? Are you tickling each other? I was like, man, y'all get the fucking or get the fighting, man. Because I don't know what is going on with y'all, dude.
Oh, man. And nowadays,
he's like,
I don't even.
Yeah, who knows, man.
Yeah, whatever.
But but looking back, yes, it's very much like as a fucking teenage kid, man. You're pumped full of just crazy testosterone
that
and different things,
dude.
Things are just becoming you. When you were just an innocent child, you're not.
Yeah.
And it's real fast that you're not.
You really like girls, dude.
Yeah. So that was another thing for me. It was like, I really like girls. My freshman year, I met.
But you're like, I don't want to get divorced.
My freshman year, I met Christy, my baby mama.
What?
Yes.
Wait, whoa.
No, it wasn't my freshman year. It was actually, so I did a whole freshman year. And again, this was me being, pissed off and disgruntled and chip on my shoulder, Brandon. I had teachers telling me, like, I remember this distinctly, like, you will never amount to anything. And I had like a coach one time who was coaching fucking world geography or some bullshit. And like, I did something stupid in the class, and he pulls me outside, and he's fucking giving me the business, and I'm just like, fuck you, whatever. And, I got my bleach blonde hair, my earrings.
Yes,
and
dude.
my fucking crazy,
90s, boy,
my Jinkos
dude.
on.
Yeah. Got a puka fucking shell necklace.
Yeah, 100%. I'm stoned from lunch.
Stoned from lunch.
And this dude, like, I remember he's so upset with me, he, like, punches the wall, dude, and was like, fuck, just give me the business. And so, like, then now I have this problem with authority, as an adolescent child, and no parent, like, fast, I'm, move on to my 10th grade year, and I'm failing everything, and barely hanging on. But I got this girlfriend who is like just there and always there, and her parents are
nice.
They were. Her dad didn't talk to me for like 4 years.
What?
For real. And I don't blame him. Like, who the fuck would talk to me then? Yeah.
Like, you're doing the wrong thing.
Yeah, and we were doing everything. I was introducing her to, we were all just doing crazy shit.
Yeah.
Back then, it was anything and everything, acid and Molly. Fucking just all of it. Just partying all the time, drinking. at young age, just lashing out,
Yeah.
But I ended up, going into my 11th year, I was so far behind and, in trouble once again. I remember I got in, my 9th grade year, I spent some time in juvie because the group of kids I was with, we jumped this one kid and,
oh, fuck.
I took his wallet and,
oh, no.
Just stupid shit. And these guys were older than I was. They were driving, I was in, 8th grade.
Yeah, just
and I'm riding with these cats, and
you take the rap.
I just would find myself in fucked up situations often, and I would always find myself doing it back myself in the corner yet again. I'm doing something stupid.
Fucking Brandon over here.
Yeah, 100%. And so, going to my 11th year, I dropped out. I quit high school.
Really? Yeah.
Because I'd gotten, honestly, I didn't really have much choice. I mean, I did. There was other options, but, I kind of...
You're like, fuck it, dude.
I was in trouble with my principals all the time. Me and the crew, we would walk into high school, and they would stop us and, smell our hands. You boys been smoking, fucking pat us down, search. We were always stoned or fucked up.
Yeah, we are high as fuck right now, though, yeah.
Yeah, but we ain't got it on us.
Yeah, you're not going to catch us doing it, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not dumb. We're just not
and that's
good at
because
school,
I had gotten caught with, I remember we worked at Eckerd's when I was 10th grade, me and my homeboys, and we would, oh my God, man, we did the dumbest shit.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. High as shit at work all the time.
Yeah,
probably got work relays from school.
My
and
homeboy
shit.
is fucked up, dude, and he's doing. I remember turning up and looking. He was supposed to be stocking shit, and he's got all the adult diapers and some other shit, and he's doing snow angels.
Oh my God!
In the aisle. Oh, my boy Fuzz.
Fuzz.
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Yeah. He's
fast forward. I was telling you, my boy that Pat that came through the other day to my bar. He brought Fuzz's son, who is 20 years old. They're out.
Wow.
Yeah. That's the life I live.
Yeah, dude. You're seeing everybody all grown up and
that's
weird,
it.
dude.
Yeah. But yeah, I ended up dropping out of high school, and honestly, I found myself in not a great place. I was doing fucking drugs. I was doing anything, and I was, I knew that I was gonna either end up in fucking prison or dead. And my grandmother. Meanwhile, my dad is kind of got this new family, and he's holding his ground. You can't come back here and kick me out of the house. And my mom is fucking, I don't know where she's at. She's in this abusive relationship and in and out of different, in and out of.
17
well, I'm 16, 17 years old, and because again, I'm older than everyone, so I'm a 17-year-old fucking sophomore.
Yeah.
And so my grandma snatches me up, and I go and I live with her.
Old school justice on you, don't she?
I live with her, and she put some rules on me and had me get my GED.
And you cut a switch on her, dude.
Yeah, I went to work, and that's kind of where my mechanical career began. And
Where'd you start working?
I was working at a quick car with my uncle. My uncle is 2 years older than I am, 2.5 years older than I am.
Oh,
it's crazy, right? But we grew up me and him were, the best of friends.
He's
and
a different generation, but he's your homeboy, Yeah.
Yeah, he turned me on to all kinds of fucked up shit, as he should have.
Yeah,
but I also went fishing with him.
Way, dude.
So I went to live with him and her and them, my grandfather and grandmother and my uncle. And he was working at a little quick car and got me a job over there, and I got my GD. And meanwhile, there's Christy's still there.
He's still fucking with you?
Yeah.
The whole time?
The whole time.
Oh, wow.
And
a little ride or die girl, huh?
For sure. Yeah. And I don't know. I got straight, I wised up and knew that, for me back then, looking back on it, because especially since I'm divorced now, 18 years later, and this was the beginning of it. Looking back, it was I just felt like I always had something to prove. Because I had so many people tell me that I would never amount to shit.
Yeah.
And that I was fucking up. and I didn't have that support. So for me, I just carried this chip on my shoulder. Like I wanted to prove everyone wrong.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm about to go out in this fucking world. I'm going to make my money and stake my claim out
That's
here.
That's it.
Dude. Yeah.
So we,
that's what fucking bartending's done for me, dude. I was like, I should have already been dead, dude. Yeah. Y'all fucking wrote me off. I ain't seen y'all in fucking years, dude.
That's it, dude.
Yeah. And the ones that do, I still see y'all, dude. Love y'all, man.
That part.
But the ones that didn't, I don't even know where you're at, dude.
Don't care either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't like me whenever I was a fuck up, did you?
Yeah.
It was
my, it's yeah, dude, that shit.
Whole side's a family, and that's the crazy thing is like there's like it's like whole clans.
Dude, my dad's side of the family was very super religious, very Southern Baptist. Like we go,
so they drink a lot and they don't fucking.
No, like my grandparents. No, like I remember going to my grandparents' place in Irving when I was a kid, and then they ended up moving to North Richland Hills where we lived when I was in like high schoolish. Dude, they still to this day, no drinking or anything. There's no anything over there. Like, but then I found out as an adult later in life that my cousins, they're like me. You know, and my uncles, like these cool people. You know, like
it's got strict parents. You know?
Yeah, they were just raised a different way. Mm-hmm. So,
but it all kind of came around to the same shit, didn't it?
Yeah, always does.
Trippy,
always does, dude.
Yeah, there's fucking people out here, man.
So, Christy and I, she was there through me. She helped me, pushed me, drive me. Me seeing her parents, still together, and that was a life that I thought I wanted. Then, I just wanted I wanted that stability, but also there was a big part of me that had wished I'd have bypassed that for a minute and done other things like military or just pushed myself a little harder when I was younger.
Maybe fucking graduate high school, like little shit like that. Yeah.
If Google was around, I can't help but feel like I would have done it.
Oh, for sure, dude. Whenever I did it,
that's why I get on my kid and I'm like, dude.
Bro, you're in the easiest way to fucking get it done, dude.
So you did the work and you didn't turn it in.
You're doing the exact same job that we did. I did mine fucking 10 years ago. We had Google, but they were fucking strict on it, I guess. Mm-hmm. But fucking, 20, 30 years ago going through high school, dude, you had to go to the fucking library.
Yeah.
Yeah. You couldn't fucking text your boy to send you a picture of the test,
you had to shit. Really look the shit up and learn it.
Yeah, dude. And it was just fucking the easiest shit in the world, dude. High school, I missed fucking 58 days of my senior year, and I still got fucking, I graduated with a 3.7 or some shit, dude.
Oh, yeah. I remember toward the end of being in high school, it was I was every Saturday school I was having to go, and we were snorting Ritalins.
I got some.
Yeah, smoking weed on the way there. All that shit. Dude.
Think about doing fucking Adderall or Ritalin or whatever whenever you don't want to fucking do your schoolwork and shit. You just find other dumb shit to fucking focus on real bad, dude.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, dude. I do it all the time. I swear to God, dude. Yeah. Because I feel like I am ADHD as fuck, dude. But if I do get a hold of some Adderall or something, I won't do the things I'm supposed to be doing. My house will be clean as fuck, or I'll just be out here and I wouldn't even do an Adderall whenever I put these up or whatever the fuck. But my mind is just don't do the shit that you're supposed to do, but do everything else super hardcore.
I tell people, I have this conversation often with just people in general when I speak on being ADHD and being prescribed Adderall is y'all probably find this weird, but I eat Adderall and I get hungry. I smoke weed and I get creative and busy, and I'll clean my entire place and organize some shit. But then I do coke and I go to sleep.
That's like fucking Logan and everybody. Like, they used to give me shit, dude, because I'd take Adderall and I'd fucking go take a nap before I did anything.
Dude,
we'd do some fucking, like, back in the day, we used to do coke and I'd fucking go to sleep right after.
There's been plenty of times I'll eat Adderall and but I'm so tired when I eat it. I'm like, I'll fall asleep and I wake up. I'm like, oh,
damn, now I got energy to do some shit, dude. Yeah, I just need a little fucking sleep in me, dude. Or, like, there was one time we came down, before we ever moved to Texas, we fucking came down here, we were doing some blow, and fucking, we went out to this, we went to Bone Daddy's or whatever, and I was fucking tearing up the food, and they're all coked out. I mean, we're all coked out, but I'm just eating fucking everything that I can get, and they're like, how the fuck are you eating right now? I'm like, I'm hungry, dude.
How are
like,
you
what
not?
What the fuck are you talking about? We haven't eaten 2 days, dude. What are you talking about? Yeah. I've been eating the whole time. I can't imagine how fucking you guys feel. Y'all probably feel awful.
You know, that's for me, I look back on those moments of my life and I realize I'm like, man, like that's kind
of a blessing.
I was so much of a control freak because I wanted to not control other people, but I wanted to I wanted to control the vibe. I wanted to control the moment. I wanted to make sure that everything was right for so many different things. Like I wouldn't trust just getting. I was never one of those people that just got blackout, fucked up, drunk, or on anything because, again, it's that control. Like I don't know. It's like
I don't trust you.
I don't like.
Now, having said that, I have been blacked out.
Oh yeah,
a few times, but it was always with people that I trust and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
and
what's
also,
funny.
And whenever, like in high school, like I used to be the one that was throwing the party, so I could do whatever the fuck I wanted for the most part. I'd wait till fucking everybody like left, and I had my like last crew of people where I could just get fucking shit faced, and then we'd go hard.
Yeah,
like I'd take her to the party for a couple hours, get all the fucking randos out of there, and then we'd fucking go hard, get fucking shit faced, take all our clothes off, and fucking go roll around the mud and shit.
His parents had a badass backyard and a pool, and so we're in high school, and that's who I am. That's who we were. Right? Some things never change, right? It's like that was a spot because they would go out of town all the time.
Oh yeah, dude, that's over with.
And they reached the point where their parents were like, yeah, we knew you had a party, but we always come back to it cleaner than when we left. So
nice. That's how you do it, dude. Dude, if you're gonna be a fuck up, be smart about it. Like, if you're gonna be dumb, be smart about it, dude.
Yeah, her brother her brother was a couple years older, and he would do the same thing, but he'd clean up and then leave all the fucking trash out.
Yeah, there'd be a bunch of bottles and shit, There'd be a bunch of beer cans left in the pool or something like that, dude. Like, they'd fucking figure it out, dude.
That's it.
Because, I mean, dude, like, you gotta understand, like, these are parents, bro. Like, and it's not that they're that much smarter than you, but they're 20 years older than you.
Yeah.
20, 30 years older. They have that much more experience to be like, where if I was a 15-year-old dumbass would I put my stuff?
And as a parent now, I'm like, I remember looking at my parents when I was that age, 16, 17, 18 years old. I'm just like, God, these
fucking guys are just busting my balls all the time.
Like, this old man, he don't get it.
He's just an asshole, right? He don't get it. But he's about to get these hands.
Man. That's my kid. My kid, the other day, I find out, I'm like, yeah, I know he's smoking weed. I know he's smoking weed. And I'm like, all right. First of all, I was like, where are you getting this weed? And I was like, you know what? Pause. Don't answer that. Yeah. Tell me where are you hiding this weed? Mm-hmm. You living with your mama? I'm like,
hold on. Make me come over there.
I was like, let me guess.
Don't make me come over.
It was him and his homeboy. I was like, let me guess, dude. Your underwear drawer, and his homeboy looks at him like, I'm like, dude,
like, your mom does your laundry, right, bro? Like,
all right, sit down.
All right, sit down. All right, sit down with your little big ass.
I'm gonna try and teach you some shit. But anyway, I'm sorry.
What you do is you get under the mattress.
Something.
You get that
other than that.
You pop open that box spring under there.
Yeah. You take the outlet out.
Yes. Damn, dude. dude.
Come on, bro.
I used to have a lockbox that I used to keep in the bottom of my closet. That's actually why I got
fucked. Until you come home and it's on the bed and they're like, unlock it.
Yes, dude.
I'm like, it
wasn't even locked. It wasn't even locked. That's why I got fucked, dude.
Yeah.
That's why I have felonies, dude.
I feel that.
Story of my fucking life. All right, well, cheers, buddy, on that fucking day. Yeah. If you guys want to know more about that, read the fucking book and shut up.
You said, would I ever fight my dad? I think there was times where I was angry enough that I thought I would have or wanted to, but I went through this weird stage of like 10th, 11th grade of just wanting to fight anyone. And that crept into my adulthood, like going out to bars, being old enough to drink, going out to bars. I remember like anybody that would just.
You see some people talking shit at the bar, and you're just like, hey,
I just want,
what's going on over here?
Fuck you, put them in their place. But I also, I think maybe the last time I got into a fight was we were in the Billy Bob's parking lot, and my sister-in-law mouthed off to some chick walking by who was with a big-ass group of people, and it was just me and my brother-in-law, my ex-wife, and sister-in-law, and it was like, all right, here we go. Now we're fighting, and I'm pretty much got my ass whipped, and that was the last time I ever got in a fight, and I'd already felt this way, but this just brought it to fruition. I was like, dude, I'm not a fighter. I don't want to fight you.
Yeah. It's never worth it, is it?
I go being in places nowadays is like, dude, I'm sorry that I stepped on your Jordans, bro, but can I buy you a beer?
Can we just not fucking do this?
Sorry.
Chill. Fucking chill, dude.
Definitely not a fighter. Even though at one point, but even looking back then, it was like I wasn't a fighter. I was just angry.
Yeah, dude. I was just ready to fucking fight people. Dude.
Yeah, I just want to get it out.
Yes, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember there was one time. There's been I used to fucking. Not exactly like fight people, but I'd push them, and I'd be like I would just kind of like push people. Not like physically push them, but like we'd be at the bar or whatever the fuck, and like there'd be some shit going on, and I would just like talk shit enough to where it's like, if they were gonna do something, they would do something here. Mm. But they, almost never did, but you would kind of feel like the badass because you're like, I was fucking ready to go, you know what I'm saying?
I think they refer to that nowadays as like being a bully.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, but it was like I was.
That's one of those things. That's one of those reflective things on myself.
Exactly, I was an asshole at times.
Yeah, man.
But there were times.
There was
where
times
it
in my life
me.
I was not a good human.
Well, but there were also times where it wasn't. And have you ever thought back whenever you used to fight, you'd be like, I have kind of like karma on my side, where it's like if you're being an asshole and I try
for me
and
it was
fight
there was always there's a reason I was so angry.
Yeah.
And honestly, looking back on it, is like
most of the time
all I wanted was someone to hear it, and for me to express it. Yeah. Really, get
a little bit of that angst
which is
out.
Which is why I love my counselor, my therapist,
because she's like, hey man, what?
Like, it's all good, dude.
Yeah.
You're not alone.
But I always felt like any time that I got into a fight, I was in the right. And I usually ended up winning, and I always felt like that was the reason, was because I had, God or whatever.
My first ever fight was the dude. I was talking about that story of me with running with the wrong crew, and we ended up jumping this kid and fighting him and taking his money. But my first ever actual fight was because one of the dudes that I was with, he insisted that I snitched on him, which I didn't. But he, because they had proof, they had a witness, the dude that got jumped.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you didn't fucking kill him.
I didn't snitch on you. The dude who fucking you beat up and stole his money. I was just there helping you like an idiot.
He saw your face. You go to school with him, dude.
Told the truth, and you got caught because of it, but you think I snitched you out, so now he was insistent that we fight. So he arranged this fight at this park that was down the road from where I lived, and this dude back then was known for recording shit. They would record. They were the dudes early on that were recording sucker punches type shit.
Oh,
you know, like
around,
busting mailboxes and you know, and riding around in his little fucking Mustang.
Early days of YouTube kind
of
shit. Yeah.
And so I had a feeling that he was recording it, and sure enough, he was, dude. And I ended up like, I basically won the fight, you know. But we also it was two 17-year-olds fighting in a park, in the back of a park, dude. You know, like I'm sure the fight sucked.
I would love to see that.
Yeah,
dude. Yeah, bro.
But you know, that was my first taste of fighting. You know, but yeah, it's.
Damn, dude. Yeah, but you had kind of the right.
I remember like riding over there. My boys are hyping me up. I'm nervous as shit, you know. But yeah, we went in there and fucking. Yeah. It's like, you know what? That's when that was the bad thing. Is like that's when I realized, like, here's the thing, dude. Like, I was a problem because I didn't give a fuck if I got my ass whipped.
Dude, yeah.
Like, I was just angry. And yeah, I was down to fight. So what? You beat my ass. Who gives a fuck, dude? Like, I don't care. You think I'm scared to take an ass whipping? No.
Let's have some fucking
I've been taking an ass whipping my whole life, dude. Come
on.
Bring that shit.
Bro, and like, dude, actually, kind of recently, I got in a fucking scrap with a dude over at the Monk. And it was literally, like, we were just, like, sitting around talking. Like, it was me and this dude. Like, we were just sitting at the bar, and we were fucking, like, talking about, like, dude, I ain't been in a scrap in a long time. You know, like, I used to wrestle or do whatever the fuck, and I was like, yeah, man, I used to fight people, you know, and shit like that. And like, he was like, you know, like, we were like, you know, fucking, like, let's go back and like see what's up. And we fucking just went out and just fucking went at it for a minute, and then just came back in the bar and fucking bought each other shots and fucking had a great time. He invited me back to his house, fucking smoked blunts and shit, and I was like, I gotta go home though. I was shit faced, dude. I was so shit faced at that time, dude. But I rolled out there and like it was me and fucking like 3 or 4 other dudes, and I was like, this doesn't seem right. You know what I mean? But it was fully cordial. Like, it was just me and this dude just having a little scrap out there, dude. Like, it was full of, like, I mean, we just fucking went at it a little bit. But I've told this story at the bar a couple of times. Like, dude, before we started the fight, I looked at his friends, and I was like, if y'all hop into this fight, I'm going to fuck everybody in this fucking group up. And I was drunk enough to believe it.
Right. Yeah.
I was like, there's like 3 dudes here. I'm gonna fuck everybody.
I'm speaking
up
my
here,
truth,
dude.
motherfucker.
Yes, like, so it was just
don't make me kill one of you, motherfucker.
It was one of the more fun things. I actually got this scar on my hand from it right here, just because we ended up fucking rolling around on the fucking concrete.
That was you know, when going into like 8th grade, 9th grade. I remember the summer of 8th grade, 9th grade. That was like, that was like puberty. Yeah, it had hit before, but also was now like kind of turning me into what I would later realize was me, and you know, paying attention to females and like a lot of testosterone is like me and my boys do back then. We used to go to Blockbuster and rent fucking UFC videos and
when UFC was
1 wild, like 30, like Tank Abbott and Ken Shamrock,
we were watching 50 dudes fight.
Yeah, and we would pop that shit in my homeboys' like basement and
wrestle,
you know, and fucking beat the shit out of each other, dude. Like literally, like we could reach a point there'd be like 6 of us, dude. And we're like, all right, we're gonna turn the lights out. And we're just going to be like, somebody, like, as soon as the lights go out, we start fucking swinging, dude. And then, of course, that turned into backyard, like, boxing and, like, you know, like, just what
people
we did,
rolling
dude.
around on the ground in the door.
We just wanted to fight. Like,
bro, that was like, bro, I remember, and my buddy Dexter was, like, the catalyst for this. Like, we'd always go to my buddy Dexter's house, and we'd just do fucking UFC in the fucking living room, dude. Like, we'd just be fucking, there'd be like 4, 5, 6 dudes just in there fucking like taking turns just wrestling and fucking just fighting basically. And there was always this kid, I'm trying to remember his name, but every time, dude, I don't know how, he always got his lip busted and he would cry. Just every fucking time. And it was always, it was
his mom on the way to pick him up.
I swear to God, dude. And it was like literally, like you'd go, like we'd be like squared up and I'd go to grab you and I'd fucking, like he'd put his face in front of it and you'd hit him in the mouth and you're like, bro, like fucking come on, dude. Yeah. Like just some shit like that.
You didn't even get hit.
Little pussy shit, dude.
You fell down, bro.
I swear to God, dude. Yeah. Like, yeah, you got a fucking little pop in the mouth, dude. Fucking grow a set, dude. But then we'd be fucking wrestling with my fucking cousin, Zach Sanchez, who got fucking steroid shots because he broke his ankle. So he was fucking 50 pounds heavier than everybody, you know what I mean? Like, that was the fucking guy to beat, you know?
I remember when I was growing up in Red Oak, my mother was like, that was one thing you were talking about what she did. At times, she would babysit.
Oh, right on.
She was babysitting this special needs kid. And I remember I was a couple of years older than he was, but this kid was like just strong because his legs were in a full brace.
Oh, shit.
Both legs were like full brace. So, his upper body, dude, was just super strong. And he was known, like, I don't know what he was dealing with, but I remember he would just, at times, man, he would, I guess it's like spectrum type, like very extreme spectrum, autistic type. Yeah. Plus whatever he was dealing with his legs. And like as a kid, like I remember like, playing with toys with him on the carpet and like taking one of his toys and this dude fucking snapped on me, man. And like next thing you know, he's got me in a chokehold, man. And I remember my mom, like, but you got the broom, like, but try to get him loose.
Oh,
dude.
Damn. Damn. Bro, fighting when you're fucking, like, 15 or so, when you're still, kind of like, when you're a kid, like, all your fucking bones aren't set, like, you're still real flexible and shit, dude. Like, you're not going to get hurt. But fighting when you're fucking our age, dude.
Man, boy.
Yeah, I'm younger than you, and I already know.
Yeah, we used to jump off roofs and shit.
Yes, dude. If I jumped off of my roof right now,
my God,
I would turn that.
I can't ride a roller coaster.
Without being sore.
I remember like the last time I went to Texas or the Six Flags and rode the Texas Giant. Like, man, this must have been 5 or 6 years ago. We were the kids, dude. Like. But it hurt so bad. I was thinking to myself, I was like, I think I need to ride it again and see if it can like pop something back. Because man, I'm just like, I'm hurting.
Jesus,
yeah. So no, we don't.
Yeah, but it's the same, bro. Fucking the fights are never worth it nowadays, dude.
No,
never. Because nobody wins, bro. Like even if you win the fight, dude, like you're sore for the next week, bro. Like even when, like I told you about the thing at the Monk, I got a scar on my hand, fucked up my knees because I was wearing shorts while we were rolling around on the fucking concrete and shit, dude. Like it was, and I woke up just sore as a motherfucker, hung over as could goddamn be, dude. Like it was the worst fucking scene.
Hating life.
And like at the time, like
that teaches you to. It's like it's not just fighting physically. It's like it takes you back. It takes you back to like the arguments you had with your girl or with your, with an individual. Is like,
is it worth it?
What am I fighting?
Yeah, we could totally do this.
Like, Matt, like, okay, we don't agree or we don't, whatever. Like, but that's all right.
We could just say fuck it right now, and we wouldn't have to do all this.
This is stupid, man. Can we just make a joint?
Can we just fucking table this for right now? Goddamn it! All right, so let's go ahead and take it back. We went on like a full detour there, but let's take it back to. So you dropped out of high school and stuff. So when was it that you decided that you were going to be a roughneck for a while?
So I mechanicked for a couple of years.
Yeah, you were working at your uncle's garage or whatever, right?
Yeah, my buddy was working for an oil and gas company and making good money, and he was kind of like and he shot up pretty quick. And now he's like the foreman. He'd been there a year or so, and he's the foreman. And he's like, man, look, he's like,
It's crazy how quick some people just really,
especially then, because that was like the Barnett Shell back then. I'm trying to think of the time frame here. So I was supposed to graduate 2000.
Like 2000.
So this was probably like 2004, 5-ish, and the Barnett Shell was just booming. That's when, we were talking about earlier, like money was no object, getting paid. He's like, dude, I can get you on over here. He's like, hourly ain't shit, but we ain't here for that. It's like, I can get you on like $15 an hour, but we're working 7 days a week, getting paid, we're working
double
10,
time
we're working 10, getting 12, plus we're getting $100 a day, and then it just, over the years, that just became, I took to it, and I loved being around those guys. Like I was, like it felt right So like basically 10 years of that industry went by, and I went from shoveling dirt into a hole to operating heavy equipment and leading a team and, overhauling big fucking mechanical equipment, you know, and also along that way, I got married and bought a house and
had a nice big lifted truck.
Had a children born. All that, and it's just
over like the next 10 years. So would you say like when you work in an industry like that, probably the same thing with like bartending, had you hopped into that at the same time, it's like things just kind of like when you're gone and like working like for that long, like things kind of like blur, like a full 10 years of your life.
I think the first 4 years of that industry, I was lucky because most in that industry don't have this luxury of having the Barnett Shell in my backyard. Booming. Which anyone who doesn't know what the Barnett Shell is like the Barnett Shell was it was a huge oil and gas pocket that they found in Dallas Fort Worth and the surrounding counties.
Shit, for real?
So we were busy as fuck, dude, all around us.
So you got to go home.
I got to go home every night. So they're giving us $100 a day per diem. But we're going home every single night.
Where's the dude that worked with you? He's
still doing it. Him and his family moved to...
No, I'm wondering, like, somebody that worked with you that traveled from where?
So...
Like, somebody from fucking Washington.
It wasn't until kind of the Barnett... Like, so when I got into it, I was working for a company that was building these compressor stations.
Okay.
They were building compressor stations, these natural gas compressor stations, because they were taking the gas from there and moving it down the line. They were selling it. Chesapeake Energy was the company that we worked for. So XTO was right around the corner. Like these guys everybody is like just trying to get it as fast as they can, buying the land rights and, blowing and going. And it wasn't until that started to slow down that I realized that, okay, now that we built all these compressor stations, me being mechanically inclined, kind of that's what I like to do. I went from being a part of this crew that built these compressor stations to now
we got to fill.
I made friends with the mechanics that were there to start these engines up, start these compressors up, and maintaining them. And so I just became buddies with them, and next thing you know, now I'm a mechanic. And I went from showing up every day at this job with my own vehicle.
Right, dude, I really hate to fucking cut this off, but I have to pee so fucking bad, dude. Oh, I'm so sorry, dude. Oh, we're fucking in there at this point. I have to pee. We're gonna hop back right into that same exact note.
100%.
Because I have it in my head, and we're gonna do that. All right, we'll be right back. All right, so we're back. I had to go pee real fucking bad, dude. Cheers, boys.
That's what happens when you drink it.
Sucks, dude. Yeah, when we're drinking tequila, dude. I have to pee on this podcast pretty heavily, but I feel like most of the time, and especially in that sense, I feel like we built a lot of suspense. So now I get to fucking let y'all cash in, dude. After our little break there with no ads, because I don't have any fucking sponsors. But so we were talking about you were building the compressors,
so,
right?
Yeah.
So
being in that industry, I built. I started out the company I was with. That's what they did. They were a third-party contractor, and we were building these compressor stations for Chesapeake Energy. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't. It was a couple years in, and suddenly it's like now these stations are built. And there's a few things for us to do, but also
what do you need engineers or what do you need mechanics for?
Well, and I wasn't even a mechanic then. I was I think I'd just become a foreman over there. So we were going around at this point, building platforms, the station's built, but now it's got to be operational. So the operators and the mechanics are coming through like, hey man, can you guys clean this up, or can you put a platform here?
You can put little
we're doing little things here and there. And at this point also we're like a skeleton crew, and
you don't have the big jobs anymore.
Some of the bosses are now going to Midland, Odessa, and they're being like, the writing's on the wall. We're not getting the per diem anymore. We're not getting those extra hours. That was the first thing to go.
This is after like some law changes, I assume.
Yeah, it was. And looking back, and this is something that we talked. I don't know if we talked about it on the air, but we talked about it. Reminder of everyone that we are in an election year, and this was about at the time like maybe in the middle-ish of Obama's second term.
Was this like 2011, 2012?
Yeah, and it's it was becoming very tough, dude. Like there was the housing market was crashing. I remember trying to do some different things. That's what I was talking to you privately about. I own my own lawn business.
Right. Okay,
I was mowing yards on the weekends.
So this is where you started thinking about like
just different things this is what ultimately this cash cow is dwindling down, and this is also something that all the old schoolers in that industry warn me about. Like, don't. Hey, look, man, money's good now, but dude, it doesn't always stay like this.
Yeah.
Don't go buy that boat.
Yeah, dude, don't buy the boat. Don't get that fucking dually.
Yeah,
dude.
Which
they all do, dude.
So,
what was your first big?
There's a lot of keeping up with the Joneses type.
I do have to ask though, what was your big dumb purchase? Like whenever you first started getting that fucking natural gas money. Because everybody fucking does it. Everybody that I've ever known
early
does
on, there wasn't really one that stands out.
You later in life, you already had your girl and you already had like a family.
Yeah, that's the thing. We were.
So there's a lot of single guys that hop into that industry.
Christy and I, we got engaged. This is kind of right before that, and we lived on our own after she graduated high school in 2002. Then we got engaged and we lived together for like 2 years, and then we got married and we lived together for like 2 years. And honestly, like this, I take this back to the reason, not the reason, but this was a big play in why I wanted to get divorced 14 years later or whatever the fuck it was. At that time, I remember I'm like, man, maybe I made a mistake. Like, I don't know that I want. It's not that I don't want to be married to her. It's not that I don't love her. It's that I just don't know that
being married is
everything I wanted and everything I was trying to prove to all these different people. I don't know if it's what I wanted. And so I was we were bickering a lot.
Stable adult.
Yeah, we were bickering a lot, and I remember having the conversation with her about me admitting that I didn't want to be married anymore. And it was like 2 weeks later, she was like, I'm pregnant.
Oh, fuck.
Dude, I was pissed. I remember my first reaction. I was just like, fuck. And I was an asshole from that moment on until my daughter was born. Like, when it changed my life. Like, I laid eyes on my daughter and, like, my life changed.
Had a little bad bitch, dude.
Little
mean little girl to fucking set you straight.
I tell people all the time, it's like, I wasn't ever really someone that believed in love at first sight. Until I felt it. The
second you see that little girl.
Until I witnessed it.
Bro, that little girl, like mine, she's a little mean shit, and she can't do any wrong in my eyes, dude. Like, she's a little psycho. She's a little Scorpio baby. So, we are fucked. We're super fucked.
So
love you, OC, but
I'm a
you're
very
a
late
psycho girl.
September Virgo, September 20th. I think the cutoff's like the 23rd.
Yeah.
But my daughter is October 5th, so it's like we're 15 days apart.
October 5th. What is she?
That's a Libra.
Ooh.
But dude, she is like cool, calm, collected. She's everything. She's got that fire.
Psycho, huh?
She's creative. She's got an entrepreneurial spirit about her, like hustler. Like, dude, she's a better version of everything I.
How old is she now?
Strive to be. She's 17 now. She'll be 18 this October.
Oh, dude, she's about to fucking.
Yeah.
She's gonna take care of you when you're old.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Way smarter than either of us will be, probably.
Yeah, she keeps her brother. Like, that's a great thing. Like, her brother is a couple years behind, but they're very close. So,
okay. So that was your first kid.
Kendall was my first. And
so that was when you decided.
That was about 2.5 years into. Man, about 2 years into our marriage.
So she saved your marriage, though.
She said, like, yeah. So I was pissed off, and I remember going back and like
probably
talking to my.
Probably your only marriage you'll have. You know, I mean, I'm not.
If I can help it, anything, yeah. Like, I don't know. I think about that. I'm a never say never type dude, and I do want a partner in life, and I wouldn't be opposed to getting remarried, but also
why would you?
I'm at a point right now. I jumped into a relationship after my marriage, and I don't know, it just, I didn't give myself enough time to process what was going to come. I was certain that I needed to be divorced, and I was certain that I needed
to do your own
do my own thing.
After how long?
After at the time it was like 17 years. Of marriage.
Holy fuck.
This was like, I was like 38, 39, something like that.
Damn, dude, I forget. And like, I'm not to say that you're old, but like,
no, yeah,
to say that you've done 17 years of marriage, fucking, that's,
that puts it in perspective, right?
Yeah. That's 2/3 of my life, at least 27.
And,
so.
I didn't give myself enough time to realize what adversity I was going to face through that marriage, So it was like, so that next relationship, as much as I wanted it to work, it just wasn't going to.
I mean, how much time did you give on the in between?
Not enough, dude. I was like
6 months.
I was like 4 months removed.
Oh no.
I was doing my own thing. I was feeling good about myself, but then I met her and.
Oh, so you're like single, you have money now and shit like that.
Yeah, and it's not even having money now. It's more just like, I was just single and happy to
be with somebody.
See someone else that was the same. Mm-hmm. But
when you join the two.
But what I wasn't ready for was the fact that I was about to go through some tough paths to get through. All I did was say I wanted to be divorced and then move out.
What do they call that? It's not, obviously postpartum is like fucking,
Yeah, buyer's remorse type.
Buyer's remorse.
You know what I'm saying? Like
that's, kinda though. Yeah,
it's just one of those things, dude. You look and you're just
you've
fuck, dude. Like
not exactly owned.
I didn't. I gave no.
For 17 years,
I didn't give myself a chance. I didn't give this other person involved in this relationship a chance.
You weren't ready.
I wasn't ready.
She wasn't ready.
As much as I wanted, so that's where I was going. Like, never say never type person. Like, yeah. But look, I would get remarried, but after going through the marriage and then going through that relationship and then now being on my own for the longest stretch of my life, it's like almost like I kind of don't trust anybody.
Yeah.
But it's also not that. It's more like, dude, like, it's me recognizing that, dude, it's not that you don't trust anyone. It's like you're just not ready to, like, you don't have, like, at what point did you think you have to have someone right there? And, like, dude, take care of yourself, man. Like, handle your business, bro.
That's not what you're in anymore.
Yeah, so, and looking back on it, like, here comes our daughter, and I was pissed off and not a good husband or partner or anything, but also that changed me to the point where I was just like, man, I'm sorry. Sorry. Like,
would you say that you were a good dad? You weren't a good husband?
Dude, that's all I cared about, dude. Like, it changed me so much. My daughter coming in this world, and it like, dude, I remember like going through so many different things after that. The age of my 30th birthday party, I remember, like these things this animosity and hatred toward both my parents for kind of what I had to go through with the divorce and different things. I remember like being a parent taught me to forgive them for that, like to fucking let it go. And I did, dude. I just wanted to be a good dad. I wanted to be a good husband, because I had a daughter with someone who just I knew would be an amazing mother, for one, and
being a good mom, and being all that stuff. I mean,
she was the type of person, man, like, and still is, like, dude, like
your girl, your
my ex-wife, Christy, man, she, like, dude, she's like old school. Like, she puts a lot of people in front, before her, and that was something for me that, we were probably going to actually get divorced about 6 years before we did, and
she took it on herself to make it work.
Well, we both did. Like, we were real close, man, and kind of moved on. Like, we were living separately, and getting custody of the children and these different things.
That was before the divorce?
That was before our divorce. This was when the kids were probably
maybe we can be married and like live separate and fucking make things work.
Yeah, we just knew. Like, honestly, to be honest, like, I wasn't happy, and that was a time in my life that I was doing bad shit. Like, I reverted back after being so happy about being a dad and wanting to be married, and I realized that I didn't want to be married, and that I looked back to that conversation I had prior to my daughter coming into the world. I was like, I didn't want to be, but now I fucking put a Band-Aid over a bullet wound. And here I am still now feeling like I don't want to be married. And, I stepped out. I was cheating. I was, I was doing fucked up shit and lashing out.
When you could have just...
Yeah, I could have had conversation. But, so I did that, and
that's
we
no
separated.
Fault. So many people do that, dude. Like, it's a whole... I mean... It sucks, but I mean, it's like something that a lot of people go through. It's like,
it's part of the society that we live in.
Yeah. It's like people
rather
don't
than
want
talk
you
about
to
our
get
feelings and where we're coming from, we
hide things.
Yeah, we were secretive and inappropriate, and then blame the other person.
Inappropriate's a good word for it.
But kind of went through that. Ended up, me being on. Now I'm kind of broken off with that other person that I was going through this scandalous shit with, and that went sideways for obvious fucking reasons. And then I'm alone, and she's alone, and she had tried different avenues to get over me and whatever. But now months have gone by, and it's like, what are we doing? Like, this, like, are we gonna do this? Are we gonna get divorced? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
And so that's when we started opening up, and we talked, and
kind of be free.
It was like, like, look, here's the deal. Let's give this another shot. But let's make a promise to each other. Like, if these feelings ever come back up, let's address it, and let's be real true to ourselves.
Let's be together if we want to.
Yeah.
Or let's not.
Not. If that's what we take from it.
Well, so like the marriage thing, like that's a tie. Like that's like a legal commitment and all this stuff, and that's one thing. Like me and Kristen have been like talked about, a couple of times, and it's like we just don't feel like we need that part of it to make the.
You don't.
Like the,
in my opinion.
Yeah. So like the.
We grew up in a world where
the relationship
there was a lot of things that we were supposed to do things a certain way. That's it. Like,
we don't need.
You're supposed to do. You're supposed to meet someone and be with them for the rest of your life and get married at a young age. And actually, no. Like,
I think I'm more likely to
this rule book. There's no rule book on the game of life.
But whenever you physically, like, legally put rules on it, then it's a different game.
Yeah.
So that's where, like, me and Kristen have talked about it a couple of times. It's like, dude, I trust you. You trust me. Like, if shit were to go sideways, like, we don't need to fucking bring the whole government to fucking crash down on both of us to be like, hey, this is yours, this is yours. You ever seen that movie, is it called Marriage with, Black Widow and fucking the dude from Star Wars, Kylo Ren. You know what the fuck I'm talking about? Well, so it's basically about this married couple, and so they're going to get divorced, and they're like real cordial about it at first, and then all of a sudden they start talking to the lawyers, and the lawyers are like, well, but we could get this, and we could get this, and we could get this, and they're like, all of a sudden they just start fucking hating each other. And it's like, dude, we could just like part ways cordially and fucking be cool, or we can let all these other people fucking get involved, you know?
Yeah, and honestly, the way I got divorced, like Christy and I, we she's amazing. Like we did it, like we did the research and we filed our own. Like we weren't going to hire divorce attorneys.
Yeah,
and like
you trusted her.
We knew what we had to split asset wise. We knew what was what, whose was whose, and we came to our own agreement, paid $275 or whatever it is to file, and did it and filed it and got divorced. Like,
how the fuck is the government going to make you pay to fucking?
It's crazy, dude. These attorneys. You know, I got buddies that drop tens of thousands of dollars on divorces. You know,
or the people that lose half their fucking
and that's just
life
to their attorney fees.
Yeah.
Not to mention what they had to write a check for. For the
dude. It's like here's my bank account.
That was the one thing we always had. We always had an agreement. Christy and I. It was like whatever we were going through personally. You know, we wouldn't let it affect the fact that we're still raising two children, and that's even after we got divorced, things got, tricky and weird, and, there's just so many moving parts. But it wasn't long that at the end of the day, we would look at each other and like we're going to have grandchildren together. Mm-hmm.
Like we're going to have to be cool.
Like, dude, like.
What, do you want to fucking hate
two ways
me
to live.
and
why?
Hate in front of the fucking kids?
I don't want to do that. I would rather I would rather watch you with someone else that makes you happy and that be genuine or real than hold a fucking grudge because you met someone else.
So one of my best friends, Dakota Daniels, he's not somebody that's like super close to my life anymore or anything like that, but he's one of my best friends, one of the smartest dudes I've ever met. I was dating this girl in high school, and like obviously, like that's just dumb shit, but he told me, he asked me one time, I was like, dude, I'm fucking like fucked up over this girl, and he's like, could you see yourself living without her? And like, being like a 16-year-old kid, you're like, what do you mean? Because like you haven't even seen life or whatever, but it's like, I feel like I could fucking, I could still go to like soccer practice and like do this shit and not think about her, but like thinking about that in like the sense of like going to work and fucking like living life, coming home, having kids, all this stuff is like, if you could do that without that other person, you almost should. Yeah. But if you can't, that means that you're fucking really about that person,
And that's where...
And he had that like astute observation in fucking high school. I was like one of the smartest motherfuckers I've ever met.
That is where those struggles, what I was saying about like getting into that new relationship that I thought I was,
Oh, you thought you were?
Yes, I knew.
In there, dude.
I knew I made the right decision to get divorced, but what I was not ready for was the fact that Christy had been tying my shoes for the last 15 fucking years.
Oh wow, yeah, dude.
Suddenly I'm balancing a checkbook, and I'm.
Then you have this girl that can't even fucking cook.
And it wasn't even that. It's just she's been single, and I don't know. I just
and it's not that Christy was ever obligated to do that stuff, but she did. But
it was more about the fact that I was battling through so many different things that I hadn't been used to, that I thought I was prepared for, but I realized quickly I wasn't, and it was me just dealing with life shit and like how to fucking maneuver through it. That is that thing we were talking about earlier. Like Dad would come home pissed off because
Yeah.
Because he's had a tough day at work, man. And, you know, here I am.
And
like,
then you're just like, all of
here
a
I
sudden,
am
like,
dealing with all this shit in my head, but I don't want to talk about it because it's probably going to make her uncomfortable.
we don't want to
talk
tell
about
the
my
fucking
ex,
kids either, dude, because they're not going to fucking
then,
get it, you know?
Yeah, meanwhile, you know, these guys are caught in the crosshairs.
Poor little bastards.
You know, it's just like, fuck.
God damn it, dude.
Yeah,
all right, so let's tie it back to so this is, you're still working in, you know, oil and gas and all that stuff, right, at this point?
Well,
so when did the switch and the divorce, where did that tie in?
That wasn't until like 3 years ago.
So when did you get divorced?
I'm trying to think of it. I know it was November 11th was the final date.
11/11?
11/11. There's a funny story behind that, too.
You know, Osi was born on 11/11.
Really?
Yeah. 11/11/21.
We were 21 or 22.
Really?
Actually.
Was your divorce?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's been 2 or 3 years.
It's been 2 years.
So you had already hopped out. So okay, so hold on. Let's go ahead and go back to your
Yeah, it was 2021 when I left, and I think, dude, it took till like 2023 until it was like finalized.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah. So what, like fucking last year, dude?
Actually, no. So, because I remember last year, 2023 was the 1 year anniversary, so it was 2022.
Okay, so it's 2022. So it took about a year for everything to get like finalized.
Yeah.
But so let's hop it back a little bit before that, because you talked about like these little side hustles that you had, right? So would you say, so you said what were all these little side hustles? I know you said you had like a lawn business and like a few other.
Yeah, so
things.
that was the thing about being in that industry, the oil and gas industry. When it's good, it's good, and
Yeah.
you're just, you know, you're making money hand over fist, and there's plenty of work to go around, plenty of hours to go around. But every 4 years, we would find ourselves like we are right now, like struggling to, you know, get hours and struggling to
they're
keep the lights on
and all this stuff because they can't.
Like I was
stay
laid off
there
at one
fucking
point,
doing-
and we had to sell. You know, we sold our house, and then the housing market crashed, and like just all these different things. So for me, it was just like
You're dealing with like grown up
the
problems.
one thing that I knew was work. Like, so I bet I'm relegated to
shifts.
40
Go to the
hours a week, but I'm working locally. Well, I'll just start mowing lawns on the side. You know,
Okay.
maybe I'll try to. You know, I had buddies that were doing. They were in the housing industry, and they were mortgage loan officers. They got me into that, and I took to that. I was actually pretty good at it, but lo and behold, guess what happened? The fucking housing industry crashes, and we all lose our fucking jobs. Right as I'm like picking
What's
it up,
crazy is
and
I could see you being a really good realtor, though.
yeah, and it's
Yeah.
like for me, like looking back on it, is like I did the same thing. I end up going back to oil and gas after we get another new president or whatever, and
Oil and gas starts booming a little bit.
Oil and
again,
gas
yeah.
starts picking back up, and so I pick up where I left off.
Obama's in his second term, and he's
Yeah,
like, "Yeah, let's
you
start
know,
fucking doing gas again. Y'all ain't gonna fucking impeach me over it." You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
Yeah.
And dude, it was just
And Trump hops in, and he's like, "Let's fucking
dude,
get
I
this
swear to you,
homegrown
it was,
gas,
I
buddy."
swear to you, dude, it was like the second Trump was elected. And this is a topic I don't give a shit about. Like,
Well, that's the thing. It's like,
but I'm also not stupid and naive to know that.
so my industry has never dealt with politics, but that is a
That
industry. That's
bro,
like that,
is
and like the
fuel
military or like a few other things.
with
Like that
politics.
is politics. Yeah.
And it was like, dude, like as soon as Trump was elected, like I shit you not, dude, it was a week. My phone's ringing, like to come back, and
It's like we fucking need people.
at that time
They've
I
opened the
needed it too.
floodgates,
I was
dude,
tired
yeah.
of trying different things and failing, and it was like, well, at this point,
Well,
this is
so
me.
what were some of the other little weird things that you did? 'Cause
Well,
I know you did a
like
couple
loan
of
officer stuff. I tried to do some sales stuff, but I just, looking back on it, it was like I never found something I just loved to do or believed in. Like I always had a problem selling a product that I didn't believe in.
Yeah.
And
I did door to door for AT&T for a little while, and I was conflicted.
dude.
know?
Oh.
Now
tried
they taught
insurance.
Me, they teach you like the sales stuff, but you're selling something that's fucked up. You're like, I don't believe
Like
what
I
I'm
believe
selling.
in your sales tactics and
Oh no, I
what
can
you're saying.
sell a
Like
fucking,
I agree that doing it this way is the right way to do it. However, I don't know how I feel about
duping a motherfucker.
Yeah, duping someone into this shit product.
Well, you ever hear that thing? It's like selling a ketchup popsicle to a woman in white gloves, or selling snow to an Eskimo. It's like you're literally just taking money from them, dude.
That's it.
So, like, what we would do whenever I sold AT&T door-to-door is we would go into neighborhoods. We would tell them, like, you have fiber. They just put fiber into your area. They didn't.
White lies.
They didn't. No. But you
attention grabbers.
You do still have, a little bit of AT&T in your area. It's probably like 50 megabytes. Or whatever the fuck. But we're going to tell you that you have the option for fucking gigaspeed or whatever the fuck.
I remember I was in like really 7th grade, dude. We got caught. We got busted, dude, because we had this bright idea to make this. We took a clipboard and we made, there was a fundraiser a couple of months prior that we went around and we're like, we had people sponsor us for laps that we would run. Like they could bid on, like, I'll give you 25 cents a lap, or I'll just give you a flat fee of this. So we made our own.
We used to do that for soccer, yeah.
Yeah, we made our own. Me and my homeboy made our own, and we went door to door, and we're like, just trying to get cash.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, but we knocked on the principal's office or the principal's house of like the local middle school, and
dumb shit.
They turned us in. But I've always had that.
Well, that's where
I've always had that grind, that stupid grind of how can we make a?
Well, but that's like I was talking about earlier. Like if you're doing shit for the right reasons, it's gonna work out. But because you're doing shit for the wrong reasons, you just happen to knock on the wrong door. And he caught you up, dude.
100%, man.
That's crazy, dude. Okay, so going back to, so you did all these little side hustles and stuff. So how, just for my own personal reasons, I do want to ask about how good you are with like the landscaping or like what were you saying? You said it was,
yeah, for me, it started out just mowing yards, right? It was like I don't know, like I knew I could make $25 to $45 a yard, but also
you can bust them out in like an hour.
Being being that ADD dude is like, I found like solace in like looking at a yard that you've taken and turned it in, like mowing it and it looks great. It's like, man, what a sense of accomplishment. It's like. So,
there's something great about mowing a fucking lawn. I actually just recently got to mow my own lawn for the first time in like 10 years. Right? Like I grew up, like I've been mowing lawns since I was fucking like 7, like since I could push a lawnmower.
Yeah.
Dude. Like I've always just mowed.
It goes back to me working on my bicycle when I was a kid.
Dude,
and being a mechanic as an adult, and then mowing. I don't know. It's just like it's a man's man type shit.
It just feels good.
Yeah, it's just
Like I was looking shit up the other day about like the weeds in my yard, like trying to figure out how I'm gonna fucking fix this stuff. And it's not even my fucking yard. Like I'm renting this place, and that's what I ultimately came to the idea of. Was like, I don't really give a fuck about this yard, dude. Same thing with the backyard. Like you saw that fucking work we did earlier, but that leads me to the question of. So you got pretty good at it.
Yeah.
Pretty good at it? Yeah. Do you want to fucking help me out with this?
I got you.
Okay, bet. You want to stay the night?
Yeah, I'm telling you.
We'll talk about that.
That's what I was looking at. I was like, look, man, this tree right here.
Bro, I know you were fucking looking. I saw the look in your eye.
I might have to trim a little on that tree to make sure you get enough sun in there. But yeah.
Did we have the same ideas, bro? God damn it, dude. All right.
We're
going to talk about that later. That's totally different.
To
pod
be
stuff,
continued.
But these are the life of detours that we
That's
are
it.
on. So, you did all that stuff, and then what? So you eventually, obviously. So you did. So the divorce happened in the midst of all of these like detours. Detours, we'll call them, that you're taking, like. Doing all these little side jobs and stuff like that, like work's kind of dipping on the other side.
The lawn stuff was prior, and then, then we separated, but then got back with each other and made that work.
And I was still
But yeah, now we're back to living together, and so at the time when we were separated, you're talking about regrettable purchases.
Yeah,
I was making good money. And for me,
Wait, making good money doing
the oil. I was
again?
I was back doing oil and gas, and
so you hopped back into a boom.
I was actually out of town working in like Midland, Odessa when I was caught cheating, and I had no self service. And I remember coming back to like just being blown up, you know, and like.
You thought because you had no cell service, you would never get caught.
There's no telling what I was thinking back then. But obviously, you know,
that was back when you were drinking. That's back when you were drinking whiskey, wasn't it?
And, yeah, and realizing that, you know, like you know,
we're drinking tequila now because we're smart.
Yeah,
okay?
Doing all the bad things. And
what were you drinking? Fucking KD at that time?
Yeah, most likely. Yeah, fuck yeah.
God damn it, dude. Well, there was your
but I was in like a man camp in Orla, Texas. And you talk about like already feeling alone, but now you're like just going through the worst part of your life, you know, getting
blown up by your fucking wife.
Yeah, just all this shit.
Was there? Wait, hold on. So I hate to like pry on this subject, and I know it's probably like a sore subject.
No,
but was there like a lot of cheating, or was it like you did a couple of things, like you stepped out like here and there kind of deal, or was it like you're kind of like habitually hitting it?
It was a mixture, I guess, but for the most part, like yeah, I caught feelings for someone else.
Oh, okay, right on.
And
so it wasn't like a it wasn't like a like a hooker that you.
That shit.
You know what I mean.
No, and dude, that's the thing. My ex-wife told me before. If I'd have just,
she'd have felt better if you would have fucking
like
had sex once or twice.
I feel like that could have been something that we, you know, overcame because we're not alone in that going through that as individuals. Yeah, especially being married as long as we were.
And I mean, like with you being off,
she was 15, I was 17 when we met. You know. But yeah,
I mean, throughout that whole time, like, how many girls had you had sex with? You know what I mean? Yeah. How many guys had she been with? You know?
Not many.
There's a big bad world out there.
That's
you know. Yeah. Now, on that note, I will take a shot with you. So you take a shot, and I felt like you needed that one.
So yeah, I bought. We separated, and so I bought a travel trailer, and that's what I was using. I was just living in that. And
what were you hauling it with?
I was hauling it with my Chevy truck that I had. It was like a 30-foot bumper pull. It was like one of the newest, longest, biggest ones that it was actually badass. It had a side, thing, like a side patio
nasty,
that
dude.
Folded down. Like, it was cool. It was nice.
Yeah.
But also, man, alive, dude.
Were you hauling it with a Chevy?
Yeah, like and 15, I would watch 20, my gas tank.
What were you
just
doing, a
fucking
2500 or
no?
You were doing it like a Colorado, were you?
Fucking 3/4 ton, just regular pickup, but it was lifted. It was a Silverado. It had 36-inch tires. But
so fuck your
dude. Like, I swear, I could watch that gas tank just like
fuck your gas mileage, dude. Yeah.
It would just disappear.
And you're hauling probably
actually one of the first times we took it
behind you for no reason all the time.
And one of the first times we took it on a long trip, like I literally ran out of gas on the side of 35 outside of Austin. Because
barely made it to fucking Austin on like
because I watched this thing just go.
You're like, surely we got some time,
Nah.
All right, well, cheers, buddy.
Here we go. So yeah,
that was your done.
We had a great after that weird little breakup, and me, for me it was very eye opening. It was like, dude, I knew that I didn't want to be that person. Like, I hated on myself for cheating on her and being that person because.
Okay, so you're talking about like while you're still married, you stepped out and had like another relationship, right?
Basically, okay. Yeah. And
of how long, if I may, like.
I don't know. It was a year.
Because you're gone
for
however long out of the month or however long out of the fucking
year.
I
just basically, her and I, we went through what everyone goes through as young married people and own insecurities. I sought comfort elsewhere, and I'm sure there's a huge part. In fact, I know there was a huge part of her that she could have or wanted to, but didn't. And it was just
That probably sucks on the other end.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
like,
just being
damn.
I kind of wish you would have.
It wasn't long. Like, after a lot of back and forth and bullshit, like, for me, I realized, I was like, dude, like, man, what an asshole. And like, I didn't want to be that. I didn't want to be that person. I didn't want to be someone who lied and cheated. Like, it felt, I was almost relieved that I got caught, because it was like I don't want to be that dude who's like, don't look at my phone.
Yeah, turn your fucking phone over when you go to bed and shit like that.
I don't want to live that way. But I was, and I did, and I hurt.
Well, because
people,
you didn't
I broke.
hurt,
like, you know, right? There was so many. Like, it was so shocking to so many people, because this was like year 12 or 13 of our marriage, and you're talking like, people were just like, we're now separated, and most people in our life were just like shocked, because in their eyes, they were like, we were like, oh my,
perfect couple.
We were perfect.
Yeah,
you know, and that made it. That was
sounds like
that
y'all
was
are
harder.
like really good. Like, were y'all were probably like best fucking friends, huh?
We were, but we weren't. You know, okay. Like we just very codependent.
Well, so the thing about like your best friend is that they're gonna fucking give you the hardest time too, you know. So was it kind of like that?
Yeah,
like,
and dude, that was a big thing for me. She's the person
that knows you the best, so she
me
gives
being
you the
this controlling
time.
fuck that I was, she would.
Well, you're still kind of a controlling.
Yeah, oh, I still am. I still,
OCD,
I fight that,
But with the relationship, right? So how did that?
Yeah, like, she would have just, any route I wanted to go, hurting the crowd, like, she would have just gone with it. And, toward the end, that was a big thing for me. Like, I started carrying a lot of guilt. You know, I was like, I knew she was the type of person that she would do anything. She would have done anything I wanted. She would have she would have followed me to the end of any road. And,
but you were doing things that you wouldn't let her follow you into, right?
And not so much that toward the end, but like, yeah, initially, like before, like when I, having the affair, like, yeah, I was taking full advantage of that.
I don't want you to be okay with this.
And then I realized that I didn't want to be that person, and then, honestly, like I was like, I'm sorry, like, she told me to fuck off. But I had to eat that. I was just like, all right, well, here we go. And so there was a piece of me before that would have went back.
Friend, like, she had to just give you that little check.
I needed it.
Yeah,
I 100% needed it.
Like, how are y'all now?
Dude, we're good. Like,
it seems like
we're both struggling,
right?
Yeah, we're actually very good.
Yeah.
We have moments. It's just so. We're all facing a rough time in life. And
when we're all broken, fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, there's so many financial struggles that we.
And if you're not,
most of my time is spent working. Most of her time is spent working, and also we have 2 teenage kids. So it's like, but we also work really well together.
Yeah.
To not let all, we have moments where we have to lean on each other a little heavier than others, but for the most part,
when you have kids like that, dude.
For the most part, it's like, look, man, like, just so you know, no matter what, I will never turn my back on her. Like, nothing will ever piss me off enough to just be like, man, fuck this, throw my hands up. Like,
would
never
you say
with her.
She's still one of your like best friends, though?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's nice, man. Yeah.
Like, no one.
I hope
no one knows me better than Christy. Like, dude, like.
Yeah. I mean, what is that fucking?
She can tell something's going on from a text message.
Yeah.
Like, hey, like calling me, like, what's going on? Like, like, what are you talking about?
Why'd you send me a 2-word fucking text message?
Yeah. Like, no one knows. No one knows me better. So, and that was the thing for me. Is like, I saw how she always looked at me like that way, and she always would do anything for me, and that was a big thing for me. I was like, dude, like, she deserves someone to reciprocate that, and I was carrying a lot of guilt as if I couldn't reciprocate that. So
there was like the friendship, but not the love anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe, perhaps.
Yeah, and it was in.
She needs somebody to like love her, like love on her, and like love her, and And like you need somebody to like love on you and love you.
Yeah.
Whereas like
me,
you guys
it
are like
became more
almost
about
in like a business.
It became more about
you know?
me. Like I kind of wanted to look at someone the way she looked at me, and then that's where like weird, crazy guilt came in. Where I was like
because she still loved you the way that you wanted to be loved, but you just weren't like reciprocating. Maybe
I was reciprocating it, but also I found myself taking advantage of it.
Right. So, not trying to call you out, but you weren't holding up your end of the marriage kind of deal there.
And when I go back 5 years earlier, after we reconcile after that breakup, I remember the conversation that we had of like, look, man, we had a 5-year run after that where it was like, man, again, we were fucking strong.
We can do this.
Like we were making it work. We were communicating. We were doing different things. We were traveling. The kids were having a fucking blast. We made it a point to really like live life.
Yeah.
But again, I don't know what it is. Like this is something that my therapist,
yeah,
and I've talked about a lot. Is like in my, I couldn't figure out after the divorce was like, dude, am I just like, do I just break
ties,
new shiny toys because that's what I do, or is there something to the mindset of like, no, like most likely I probably thought too deeply about it. Like I felt guilty. It's one of the reasons I quit my last oil and gas job. I got to the point where the guilt of them writing me a check for the work that I was doing, like I didn't feel right accepting it because I felt I wasn't giving them, giving them what they deserved. So them like, because I hated it. I hated the job. I didn't hate them. I didn't hate the company, but I hated the job. I didn't want to do the job anymore. But here they are writing me a check. And then the guilt stepped in of me. Now I'm like, they're giving me a check for a job that I know, like, dude, I'm giving them 60%. And so my heart's not in it. So it's
like
if
I gave you all 100%, you'd probably pay
like
me.
I had to admit in that marriage that my heart wasn't in it.
So yeah,
so it was something that I had to fucking take.
To the same thing.
Yes.
Do you think? So maybe it's such a weird thing to say, but like maybe just kind of in your, not exactly old age, but in like your, like in
back in my day.
No, but like in your advanced, like knowledge of the world, you've kind of realized like doing things just for doing them and getting the things that you would get back isn't worth it. Like if the passion or like the whatever isn't there, like if your heart's not in it,
I find myself now
like even if the
not
money's
doing
great,
anything
or like even if like your life's great because of like you have this fucking great wife, it sounds like you had a great wife and all this stuff, but it's like your heart wasn't 100% in it, so like you could only take 60% of the happiness,
That's it. It was and
tough,
I find myself now, being single and being, alone a lot. That there's a lot of things, dude, that I'm just like, actually, I don't want to do that. You know why? Because I don't fucking want to.
Yeah.
And I don't have to. And
so that's one thing that kind of leads to where we're at. So like now you're kind of in this industry where you can kind of just say fuck off at any point. Like you only do the things that you want to do nowadays, right? Kind of, for the most part. But
you're still talking to a dude who,
works,
cares hard, loves hard, works hard, does everything hard. So,
you got that
it's
from
like
your fucking daddy, dude. I know you did, dude.
Hey, I saw my dad the other day. I was we look alike. We're the same person.
Dude,
just like my son.
I have not sat behind your bar, but I know that if I sat at your bar and I ordered an old fashioned, you'd go back there and like you'd make that thing because you would like the idea that it was done correctly.
Oh my god!
So, and that's the way that I like to do my things.
I'm the dude in a rush, still shaking margaritas. Like
that's what pissed me off the other night. Whenever all these people came in and they were ordering these fucking old fashions and stuff, I'm like, this is my favorite drink to make, and you're gonna make me make it for you. That's not gonna fucking enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna make it to the best of my ability, and you're not gonna tip me well. I already know.
Yeah, there's such a great satisfaction from someone appreciating what you.
Now, having said that, there was one group in, like, whenever y'all showed up, there were like 10 or 12 of you, and then there was 2 at the end of the bar. I literally sat this old-fashioned in front of this guy, and I was like...
Is that couple, the blonde?
No, it was a black couple down at the end, and they were very nice. But because I was so busy, I didn't feel like I was giving them the time, but at the same time, like, because I do my job in such a certain way, like, I made the fuck out of that old fashioned. I made her lemon drop the way that it was supposed to be made.
At that point, it's repetitive.
And the way he looked at it, I was like, have you ever had an old fashioned before? And he was like, yeah, no, I've had an old fashioned before. And whenever he took a drink of it, he was like, no, that's a good old fashioned. And I was like, fuck, man. Like, I had all these fucking, like...
What bourbon do you do?
I felt bad. I do Bullet. Yeah. That's the only good bourbon that we really have. I mean, I could make it with Makers if you're really trying to get like a really...
Yeah, I'll from Bullet or Makers. That's
yeah.
We don't
if you're trying to get...
We make a brandy.
Well, we don't have a rye, you know, so I mean...
Bar,
yeah.
Which actually is not bad.
Yeah. But I felt bad, man. Like, I profiled this dude. I was like, dude... because, well, first off, his girl ordered the old-fashioned for him. So I was like... She was like, I just wanted to get him a good drink and all this stuff. And I was like... You ever had an old fashioned before? And he was like, yeah. And then as I was walking away, he was like, damn, that's actually
you know what's funny?
And I was like, he's actually appreciating what I did for him, and like made me feel good, dude.
We were talking about me being oblivious to this industry, and there was a time
all the shit that goes into
where
it.
I was in the sales world, taking a dabble in that, in one of those periods of me getting away from oil and gas and trying, because I always felt like I was typecast in oil and gas, because now, you know, this is all I knew. This is all I spent so many years in it. I don't know anything else. And now, like, what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to I'm a high school dropout with my GED. I'm going to go to college. Like, no, like,
that's not going to happen. Like,
I mean, I don't know. Maybe it can, but that was my mindset.
Be a fucking physical trainer. Yeah. I bet you thought about it, didn't you?
So I'm in sales. I remember I'm watching Mad Men, like running through the series Mad Men. I love Mad Men. But also now here I am, like watching these guys smoke cigarettes everywhere and drinking old fashions. I remember going on like my 10-year wedding anniversary and going to this great steakhouse. I was like, yeah, give me an old fashioned. And dude, I fucking took a couple of drinks and I'm like, man, can I get a Diet Coke? Oh no! I had no idea. I was like, and still to this day, my buddy's a big. He's the beverage director for Texas Roadhouse. You go to his place, dude, and he's got a bar with everything: 5-year Pappy, 10-year Pappy, 15-year Pappy, 20-year Pappy. He's got every fucking liquor you can possibly think of, and he'll call us over. His boys like, hey, we're gonna drink this. We're gonna bust open this 15-year Pappy. And I'm like, I take one sip. I'm like,
no,
not for me.
Oh man, dude.
I was like, dude, don't even pour it for me because I won't. I don't appreciate it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't.
It's like I've had a couple of buddies that I've had a couple.
You got a badass tequila back there. I'm in.
Yes, dude. So I've done the podcast with a couple of people, and like they've brought their own things, you know, and like every once in a while, there's one guy that'll bring like a good scotch, and I'm like, don't. Well,
yeah,
so
I love that you love it.
I'll drink anything. You know, like I said before, I'll drink anything. And I do like scotch, I guess. I like it for the novelty of what it is, but it's not my drink. You know, I'll drink it. You know, and after my buddy, whenever I went down to Austin to see my buddy at Capo, we had a good bottle of, Macallan, like 15 or 18 years, something like that, because his dad's a liquor rep.
Good's
so
relative.
He just has shit.
They
and so he poured it up, and I was like, for the next like week, I was just trying to find good scotch to drink. And I was like, I'm not gonna buy a fucking 21-year fucking scotch or whatever the fuck it was, dude. So So.
That was for me. It was like around COVID. Like all my buddies out, they're in like bourbon clubs and
because
and
everybody's
whiskey
making
clubs
fucking $1,000 a week, not doing a fucking thing.
Yeah, and these. I'm like, okay, that's great and all. I was like, but
liquor stores are.
I'd rather be like, do they don't have a fucking tequila club?
Mm-hmm. So I remember whenever COVID first like kicked off, I was working in Deep Ellum at the time, and my buddy Sydney, my boy, he was my manager at Harlow down there, and I went to go down to Dallas, and he was like, just grab a bottle of Clase, or grab one of them bottles of Clase Azul and bring it down here. So I'm walking around fucking Deep Ellum with a box with a fucking badass bottle in it and shit, and we go in there. And they pour up a bunch of shots, and like it's fucking COVID. Like we're not supposed to be together, but we are. So they pour up a bunch of shots, and like they pour up this Clase Azul, this Reposado, and I shoot it, and I was like, that was a sip, dude. Like that should have been a sipper, dude. That was so good, dude. I felt so bad right after. Stupid, dude. Like that's a tequila that you just enjoy.
I agree.
And then we polished that bottle off in like 20 minutes.
Yeah, and from there it goes.
It's a bunch of fucking crab legs that everybody's making. Dude, so, I mean, like, everybody's on unemployment, So he's a fucking restaurant manager making, like, his unemployment is like $1,000 a week plus the $600 that they get extra, So everybody's balling out of fucking control. So
and
he's like, go grab a fucking $200 bottle of tequila and bring it to me. And I'm like, fucking let's go, dude. All right, so I do want to ask before we get out of here, what was the last kicker that kind of set you into the service industry? Because you had all these other things that you dabbled in and all this stuff. And
that's a fairly easy question for me. Like honestly, like the main thing that drove me to want to completely commit to the service industry outside of doing it on the side was like my network. Like I literally watched my network like just like
boom.
I'm here. I'm good at. And my buddy is.
You're such a personable guy.
My buddy is. He's like, man, you ain't a bartender, bro. You a show tender. Like, and for me, it's like literally like I was like literally. It's like I love that about him to hype me up like that. But it also like I saw the realness in what he was saying. It's like, man, like it's almost like lights, camera, action. It's like, dude, like in those moments, man, it's organized chaos. It's fucking like let's go. It's crazy. It's busy, but I'm in control. I don't know. I took to it. I love it. And it was, that old saying, do something you love.
You'll never work a day in your life.
A day in your life. And, I don't know about that because I'm working my ass off, but
I still need the fucking money.
But it is definitely, it's
so much fun, dude.
It's just, and for me, I'm a very opportunistic person, and I shit you not, it was like I remember calling my boss at oil and gas back in July of 23, just last July, less than a year ago, and telling him like, look, man, I'm sorry, but I'm not your guy. And this was a lot of thought in myself about making this decision, and a big reason why was because I was like I'm an opportunistic person. I was like, look, man, I feel like if I give everything I have into this industry, like the right things will start to happen. And it was like, dude, I quit with them, gave them my nose, let them know, and it was like a couple of days, dude. Like I'm offered my GM at Reservoir was like, man, look, what do you think about I need an AGM. So it was like, I didn't end up going that route with them, but for me, it was all about the opportunity, like
the fact that
fact that I was considered, the fact that I'm looked at as that person. That's
huge, man.
It's just it was.
Well, and that's the thing for me as well. Like I've been bartending for a long time, and I did management for a little while, and I've been offered quite a few management positions. Like the fact that I've been recognized in my field. and stuff. And like you were talking about earlier, like that controlled chaos thing. Like I've been an NSO for Boomer Jacks, and like my moniker that they gave me was the Chill Cherry, just because nothing, like you're opening a restaurant, the shit is on fire all the time. Everything's going up in fucking flames. And
our
I'm
pets'
just like,
heads are falling off.
Like,
dude.
What are we doing? Like, let me help you. Let's fix this. Let's fix this. Let's fix this.
That's
just
it.
Everybody stay calm. Let's fucking fix all these problems as they come up.
Organized
like it's
chaos, baby.
You just gotta be cool, man. Like, just stay chill and fucking. What's the worst that's gonna happen, dude?
Yeah, and you're talking to a dude who regularly lost his cool in many different situations of life, but all of a sudden I'm in a.
Bro, I was in anger management,
crazy fucking environment. I'm just like, it's all right.
I was in anger management.
I'm gonna get all you assholes a drink. I promise.
Mm-hmm.
Just give me a second.
Yeah, if you want to fucking get upset, dude, like we're not gonna. Like, I'm just not even gonna fucking deal with you, dude. I've dealt with so much crazier shit than you.
Yeah,
there's no way.
And no, I'm not gonna make you a adios.
Adios.
Not right now. If you want to wait a few minutes.
All right. Well, we love you guys. I think we've gotten to the bottom of it here for the most part. But I do want to invite you back later on because I do kind of want to see where this leads you. Because, I mean, just going through all this stuff in your life and then getting into this interesting fucking...
Yeah.
This interesting industry that we're in. I feel like there's a lot of things that will happen to you within the next year or two. And I want to see how it adds up.
Yeah, I get so many stories too. Is being a father, guilty as charged with the stories. As stepbrothers,
guilty as charged with the stories.
Man, like I got them, and
you're just a cool dude.
I love to talk about them. So.
Yeah, I fuck with you. It's super heavy.
Likewise, dude.
And
I had a great time today. Like I was a little nervous and. I wasn't sure what to expect, but I think I was more, anticipating it and like ready for it than I was nervous.
Well, I mean, we've been building it up for weeks.
Yeah.
But I am glad that you had a good time.
Hell yeah.
And I'm fucking glad that I was able to break out of whatever funk that we had going on, dude.
That's what's up.
And fucking just being here with me, man. You did a great job.
I appreciate you, my dude. Love you, brother.
All right, guys. We're out of here. Wait, let's do some fucking intro music on the way out.
She don't want
me to be the
shot? Yes.